So it's pretty self-explanatory. So what we're going to do today, we got all the players lined up down below. So first we got the offensive players, then the defensive players. So we're going to go offense first. We'll see how long it takes us to do offense. We might put this into two halves. Otherwise, if we fly through it, we'll do it all at once until we got a 53-man roster lined up. At the top, you got it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Starter, your starters. Heavy rotation, the guys who are going to be in quite regularly. Not, they're not considered depth, more just guys that are going to be in the heavy rotation. Then you got your depth, the guys with the next men up in case our starters go down or whatever it may be. Then you got practice squad. We'll try and see who can filter out into that. How many people in practice squad again? Is it 12 or 16?
I have no idea. It might have been 16 because they added another game, but I'm not sure. If somebody in the chat can check and let us know,
please do. That would be appreciated. And the guys who are going to be fighting for that final roster spot or likely to be cut at the bottom. So, and speak of the devil, there's Raider Critique. He'll be here soon. Yeah, look, just pull up when you can. We'll be ready. Well, what say you, Ont6? Should we get started?
Get started, brother.
All right. So we got the quarterbacks going to be up first. Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Anthony Brown, Carter Bradley. We'll start with Gardner Minshew. What say you? Depth?
Well, in this situation, I see AOC as our starter. You know what I mean? So he will have Gardner Minshew is probably going to be the backup going into the season. So I would put him as the backup right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think preseason is going to tell the full story, but as it stands right now, word from camp is that it's AOC's team until proven otherwise. So we'll put Gardner here, and then I guess Aiden starter.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put him up here. And salute to you, Wild Turkey. Good to see you in the feed. Hope all is well. Raider Critique. I just got done moving the studio around and shit, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. That's all good, man. All good. All right, so Ray says 16-man practice squad. All right, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for informing us about that. Take your time, Critique, but hurry up. Right, Robert? All right. The other two guys, Anthony Brown and Carter Bradley. Who's going to be our developmental guy and who's likely going to get cut? What say you? Ont6.
I'm in this case, a real good friend of mine, put me into Mr. Brown and show me some of his film.
I wonder who that guy is.
I see a little bit of Terrell Pryor in this kid, so you know what I mean. I do. I think he's gonna probably be a back on the practice squad.
Well, he's my little under the radar guy. I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Look, I'm not saying he's going to be this and all that. Like, we'll see what happens with him, but it's going to be fun to see what he can do in preseason. See if he can earn that practice squad guy as that third man that we carry. I think we're going to carry. Well, Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell are going to be our two guys, and then the practice squad guy or the depth guy is going to be. It could be one of these two. But I've watched quite a bit of Anthony Brown's tape, and I like what I see. It gives me shades of Terrell Pryor. And we've got our next guest backstage, which is none other than Westside Ern. What's going on, brother? It's cracking.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Is my audio working okay?
Can't hear you, Westside.
Can you guys hear me okay?
You sound like a robot.
Nah, for real.
I'm fucking with you, man. We can hear you.
Okay. I was like, damn, I gotta go find my microphone.
Oh, good, brother. Oh, good.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Trying to get this light to work.
All right. Well, we already ascertained that starter's going to be Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. We were just deliberating who's going to be our third kind of developmental guy or practice squad guy. So,
got you.
What say you?
I mean, we don't really have much choice. It's O'Connell, Minshew, and probably gonna be Brown, I guess. I mean, you know what I mean? Who else is there?
Well, we're just talking about the guys on our roster as it stands. Like, this team's going to chop and change leading up to the regular season and after preseason, right? But just as it stands right now, I like Anthony Brown. He intrigues me. I've watched quite a bit of his tape, and what he's done in preseason with the Ravens, I was kind of impressed. So I think maybe he might pip Carter Bradley. But look, we'll see what Carter Bradley's going to get his chance in preseason, see if he can earn that kind of practice squad developmental guy. So let's say Anthony Brown, practice squad, and we'll put Carter Bradley down here.
I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's about fair because Anthony Brown at least knows the system a little bit. So yeah, you put him. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the running backs. Look, Zamir White's going to be the first one. Well, I'll start off with you. And as it stands right now, what do you think he's going to be? Where do you think Zamir is going to be?
That's going to be our starter, bro. That's going to be our starter going into the season too.
Yeah, I don't know how comfortable I feel about that, but it is what it is.
Right. I don't like that.
Well, look, I was one of the loudest critiques on the scene when it comes to my displeasure with Zamir White. He didn't impress me at all up until the last quarter last season, and I'll give him that. Like, the last quarter last season, he did very well, and he proved that he can play. And salute to you, Raider Rebel. I see you in the building. Hope all is well. So, he's given us hope that he can be the guy. I just want to see it more consistently. I'm not backtracking on my criticism up until the point where he proved that he can play, but I just want to see it more consistently, and for him to be a decent enough starter moving forward, not just a flash in the pan, or he's just more of the same, like he's just not getting it done. So we'll keep Zamir up there.
I just feel like, that he did really good because the teams had the game plan for Josh Jacobs. So he came in and they didn't really know what to expect. Now they have a whole year to game plan for him. And I don't think we're going to see the same thing.
Well, we'll see. He's going to get his chance. He's our starter until proven. Leo, did y'all see they ranked Zamir 32 in the NFL? Well,
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Zamir's going to get his chance. So hopefully it's more of the same of what he proved the last quarter of last season.
Do we still have Britton Brown on our team?
We do, and we'll get to Britton Brown in a minute.
Okay.
But we'll go in order. So the next coming up, Bo Jackson, right? Sincere McCormick. When you see this guy.
Oh, man. I'm glad we talked about what we talked about in the chat last night because this would be the perfect time. But anyway, yeah,
making the team. I don't even see him making the team, to be honest with you.
All right, I'll go first, man. Look, he's going to be down here fighting for a spot. This is his third season. He's done nada in my book, and I'm not impressed. He's been given a lot of hype by certain people out there, and I haven't seen it. So this is his last chance alone. Show me something or get up out of here, because we've got other guys in the door that surely can do better. So here.
I would put him at practice squad, but I feel like he was a practice squad last year. It's like you either move up or you get gone. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he's going to move up, so it's probably going to be gone.
Right. Well, look, Sincere, it's his last chance salon. But anyways, Raider Rebel, I have a lot of faith in this running back room simply because if Zeus or Matty, Lorbe might keep his chance on ball out, just my opinion. Yeah, we'll see. Like, they're all going to get their chance. I just hope, like, one guy emerges to be that feature back, and some of these cats can emerge to be a decent spellback when they get their chance. But anyways, Alexander Madison, the guy we signed. Where did he come from?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, do you think he'll be the spellback or? Yep.
To me, he's the co-starter.
Okay. What say you about Alexander Madison?
I don't like this motherfucker at all. I don't even know why we signed him. I think it's a rough spot. But at the end of the day, it's him or Sincere, so I'm taking him. to be the backup.
Right. I think as it stands, he's our depth guy. I hear his run block, his pass protection is also pretty good, so that might see him in on some of these third down situations. I'm not sure, but we'll put him here for the time being. What say you guys?
He was really good in Minnesota, bro. Like I had picked him up like as a like my starting running back got hurt, so I picked him up in fantasy. And bro, he puts up nice numbers. He's a good running back.
I'm taking the next Bo Jackson since him. Well, he's going to get his chance to live up to the hype, right? Brian Rodriguez. That's why I think we need a veteran at running back, maybe Dalvin Cook. Well, there's going to be guys who make certain teams and get cut, and we might pick them up on waiver wire, but we'll see how it goes. We're just looking at who we have on the roster as it stands. Anyways, the next man up, Dylan Lorby, and salute to you, Rebel Raider. We got 2 Rebel Raiders in the building. Nice to see you, brother. What say you?
I don't know anything about Dylan Lobby. I just know that he's a jack of all trades, but I haven't seen any tape on him to know, like, the quality of what he brings to the table. But just on the strength that he can play like 5 different positions, I really like that, bro. Because we can put him at fullback, we put him at running back, you could put him at a tight end. I think he can even play receiver. I mean, I really like that. So this is like one of those guys that you can line up anywhere, and defenses don't necessarily know how to match up with them.
No, you got a good point there. And another thing is too, we can use him at kick and punt return now, especially with that new kickoff rule and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna be something that I actually see him making the roster. You know what I mean? As the fourth running back and shit, because he can do a little bit of everything. And the thing is, he can play special teams as well as a gunner. So if you can do that, there's always a place on your roster for us.
Exactly. And then we got, what's his name too? Oh my gosh, Brock Bowers. He's another guy that can play running back, fullback, tight end, receiver. He can do all those things. We got 2 guys that can do that. That's crazy.
Oh, it is, especially Brock Bowers. Seeing him running back in college and actually seeing him break runs and shit, and you actually think that's a tight end, but it's just ridiculous. Go ahead, AR.
Just gonna read this comment out by Raider Rebel. I believe that's the best chance for Lobby to show what he can do. Is if these guys don't start out hot, and his hands are absolutely ridiculous. Might be the best hands on the team besides DA. Oh, that's a big call. What about Brock Bowers? But anyways, look.
I mean, Jacoby Myers got good hands too. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
And we haven't even seen live play yet. How can you say that though, big dog?
Right. Look, I'm gonna say with Lorby, I do like what I've seen from his tape, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie who's come from a one of the colleges. What was it, like first division, second division?
I know it's not
wherever it may be. It's a smaller college.
Yeah.
Let's see how it translates to the pro level in preseason. And he's going to get a lot of chances to show so. I'm hoping he can be up to speed and be that third down situational back immediately. But we're going to see in preseason how far along. He's going to get some time. He may need some time to develop, and I'm going to give him that time. But for now, I see him as a depth guy. What say you guys?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe a third down specialist or something like that. But he's definitely not going to be like starting or the spellback. Right.
Well, he may need time. How much time, we will find out. But anyways, New Hampshire. Yep, that was his college. Britton Brown. Now this is a guy who intrigues me.
That's my guy.
I was impressed with what I saw from him preseason 2 seasons ago. And I went as far as to say last preseason, he missed a golden opportunity to leapfrog even Zamir White and Sincere McCormick, because neither of those guys impressed me. And Britton Brown, I thought, would have had a good chance to maybe stake his case, but unfortunately he was out injured last season. He's come back now, how healthy he is and how up to speed he is. He'll get his chance in preseason. But he's going to be fighting out for that, for a spot on the roster. I hope to see it. I hope to see him return to form and be given a good chance to prove his wares and maybe be the guy, a rotational guy. Well, what say you guys? Do you see him as depth or fighting for a roster spot?
So as of right now, I see him as fighting for a roster spot, but that can be very fluid. That could go, it could be, it starts off at the bottom fighting for a roster spot, but that can go all the way up to starter, just depending on how the preseason goes. Because I think his potential is actually better than Zamir White. We just got to see how it pans out in the preseason.
Ont6?
I agree. This kid has a lot of talent. You know what I mean? It just, can we get it out of him? What can we see in the preseason? Because he can definitely make the roster. Just, this is why it's so important. That's why I don't understand why Roger Goodell wants to get rid of these preseason games. These are so important for teams to make decisions on these players and shit. So at the end of the day, it's just gonna come down to preseason. So this, at this point, I'm just gonna say he's fighting for a roster spot, but I can't even see him making the roster. Westside say.
Yeah, I like what you said, Westside. For now, he's going to be down here because of all that missed time. And this isn't a regime as well. But I see what you see. He's a guy who could potentially shoot his way all the way to the top if he can prove some things in preseason first. And then if Zamir doesn't show out and prove to be consistent in the regular season, then we may look at one of these other younger cats to run the rock as our feature back. So Britton Brown's going to get his chance. I just hope he makes good on that chance. All right. Amir Abdullah.
You got to keep that guy. You have to keep him. You got to find a way to keep him.
No,
because he brings.
The first move of the offseason was re-signing this guy, so clearly they have a role for this player in mind. So I think he's going to make the roster as a depth piece. You know what I mean? I see us carrying 4 running backs, and those are the 4 running backs I see us carrying as of right now, with Abdullah in there.
All right, I'm going to play.
We're keeping White, Brown, Olsen.
All right, better late than never. Please welcome your boy.
That's me, man. Late rhymes with Nate, motherfucker. I'm always late. I'll be late to my own funeral. I'll be that asshole who holds up traffic because my casket fell out the fucking hearse and it's gonna shut it down for 3.5 hours. Hope you're all ready, dude.
Damn.
What's cracking?
Good morning.
Morning, man. What y'all up to, bro? I see you guys having a good time. Got the Afakasi classic game and music going on in the background.
Yeah, I had to get the tune playing one time. But salute to you. Thanks for joining us. Now I can have the proper overlay now that we got all 4 of us on the screen. All right. So Arnold, salute to you. Good to see you in the feed. Hope all is well. He says, "What's up, fellas? First time I seen you around my side of town, so appreciate you, brother." Well, we're up to Amir Abdullah. So, what are your thoughts, critique? We'll go to you. Before we go, I'll show you what the things are. So, starter, heavy rotation, depth, practice squad, or fighting for a roster spot / cut. So, what say you?
I would say depth. For the simple fact that's the best kick returner we have on our team. I think that's his job to lose, regardless of whether he's going to be playing running back or whether he's the spellback or not. Dude is the return man. You know what I mean? He'll be here.
I'll say something short and sweet with Amir. I think Amir's fate will be how up to speed Dylan Lorbe is in preseason. If Dylan Lorbe can prove to be good enough in preseason to be that spellback, pass catching threat / special teams guy, we might cut bait with Amir Abdullah. But as it stands, I agree he's a depth guy. What say you guys?
No, I agree.
You got any other thoughts on Amir on 6?
Just hopefully that he don't get Tino Sincere.
Right. We won't even go there, but we all know what you're talking about, right? We'll put him up here. And Zamir. All right. The last guy in our running back room as it stands, I thought Austin Walter was still on our roster, but he's not. I think he's been cut. So Tyreek McAllister, a guy we signed from the CFL who'd been tearing it up there last season. I don't know if you guys know too much about him, but a guy's 26. He tore it up in the CFL, and I don't know. He's going to try and stake his case. But what say you with him fighting for a roster spot?
Can we just put a big question mark because I don't think we know anything about that guy.
Right.
Let's see. I think that dude's going to the practice squad until he can prove something. Otherwise, when Sincere finally gets cut, Because I don't believe Sincere is going to make the team this year, just like y'all. And I still would like to see what Britton Brown's got. We ain't seen shit from him either. So if we don't see nothing from him, I can see him getting cut too. I'm just saying. Yeah, we ain't seen shit from him. He's been on the team, what, 2 years? 3 years? Same thing with Sincere McCormick. He can't even get off the fucking practice squad. Why are we keeping these bums?
Right. Well, Sincere, this is his last chance to learn. And Arnold, my bad, brother. Now that I think about it, I have seen you a few times, so my apologies. But I do appreciate your support, my friend. But as for Tyreek McAllister, he's going to get his chance. He's a question mark, so we'll just keep him out there, short and sweet, right?
Right.
I have to say the running back room is really the one that's up in the air the most when it comes to this team. There's not one that sticks out.
That's right. Exactly right. We have a whole running back room full of B running backs.
Unprovens, man. Basically, Madison's a great third down back. He is a good blocker. That's what that's what I remember seeing out of Madison. But he's not a starter. You know what I mean? He's not the bell cow. So I guess we are going to go with the running back by committee, which is what motherfuckers wanted us to do last year. Well, we're going to find out what it's going to do for us this year. Because
I don't even think we're going running back by committee, bro. I think we're just giving the job to Zamir White.
I just hope one of these young cats shows out and proves to be the guy. As it stands for me, I just want to see it. I just want to see it consistently. But anyways, we'll move on to the tight end room. Brock Bowers, this is pretty easy, right? Starter.
That's
no reason why he shouldn't be a day dot starter, right?
That guy is slated to be the next Travis Kelce, bro. And so we have to roll with that until we see different.
Right. Any other thoughts on Brock, or we'll just put him up there?
That's not debate. That's pretty much not debatable.
All right. We'll move quickly then. Harrison Bryant. You reckon going to be that third tight end?
He's going to be a blocking tight end, so I would put him at the third tight end.
Yeah.
Depth?
Yeah, he's a blocking tight end. He'll come in for, goal line situations and short, second and short, third and short situations.
All right. Well, a guy who will give him competition is this cat here, Zach Gentry. I think he was drafted the same year, a depth guy from, I think, Cincinnati. I think he may have been on Pittsburgh as well, but that's going to be his objective, is to try to leapfrog Harrison Bryant as that third guy. But as it stands, it's Harrison Bryant's job to lose, so I think we put him down here, right?
Yeah.
What the hell we got all these average-ass tight ends for? We got, I don't know, we're carrying hella tight ends. Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers, Cole Fotheringham. God.
Well, they're just depth as it stands, so we'll see what they do in preseason, right? But
yeah, that's true.
Michael Mayer, the guy we invested a second-round draft pick last year.
So he's on the street.
It's going to be a dual tight end. There's going to be a lot of dual tight end sets. Being Luke, what's Getsy's first name? I keep forgetting.
Luke? No.
Yeah. Luke Getsy's supposed to be his MO, but I just want to see it. I mean, last few seasons we thought we were going to see it. We didn't. But it's a new offensive coordinator. We'll see how it shakes. But I think he's going to be the first guy we're going to put up here in the heavy rotation spot. What say you guys?
Yeah, he's starter B. Bowers is a starter, but Michael Mayer is also a starter because the way our offense is going to be.
For sure. What about you, Ont6?
I completely agree. So I have option A and option A1. You can't go wrong. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see these both of them on the field.
Right.
And just at end position, we haven't even talked about our wide receivers yet. So it's just crazy the weapons that our quarterback's going to have this year.
For sure. Well, look, I want to see a little bit more from Michael Mayer from a reception standpoint, but from Bowers and Mayer, I want one of these guys to emerge. I mean, we invested quite high with both of these guys in terms of draft capital. So I want one of these guys to be the next great tight end to carry on the legacy that we've had of late, where we've always had a good tight end, being Darren Waller, Jared Cook. Before him was, Michael Rivera and Brandon Myers were good for a minute. And then there was also Zach Miller. You know what I mean? He was a great Raider. So I hope one of these two cats can prove to be that next great tight end and be one of the better, if not the best tight end in the league in time. Raider Rebel, Mayer's on a mission this year. He sounded salty in the interview. Yeah, well, I hope it translates on the field, but he's going to get his chance. Cole Fotheringham, 3rd year UDFA.
Hate to say
Bye-bye.
it, bro. Practice
Bye-bye.
squad.
Well, I see him as a practice
And
squad.
he deserves a roster spot. He did fucking well last year, but they're not going to give it to him, dude. They've done drafted 2 fucking tight ends, you know what I mean, the last 2 years. So unless Michael Mayer has a complete drop off of what he did last year, which that's not saying much. He didn't do shit last year.
Exactly.
He could have a spot.
I think practice squad would be a reasonable space for Cole Fotheringham to continue honing his craft, because I hear some positive things about him in camp. But yeah, what say you, Ont6? You haven't had a chance to say anything about our guy Cole Fotheringham down here?
For me, he's probably gonna make the practice squad. I mean, we're deep at tight end, or he's the candidate to take somebody else from another team. You know what I mean? He's a good. It just sucks that we signed another tight. We signed a tight end, and we drafted 2 the last 2 years. So the tight end position. So there's no excuses now.
All right, we'll leave him down here in practice squad.
Man, Cole Fotheringham's getting cut, bro.
We will see.
Cut. We have,
At the end of the day, I'm not going to cry spilt milk. If we keep him on the practice squad, we keep him. If he's cut, whatever.
Hey, we're going to keep 3 tight ends. Who's he going to beat out? Is he going to beat out Mayer, Bowers, or Harrison Bryant? He's not beating out none of those 3.
We will see.
And
the last guy down here. Go ahead.
I would be more sincerely upset if we kept sincere.
All right. John Shanker. Now, look, I want to talk about Shanker first, because I know a lot of you guys are going to write him off and be like, fuck him, like cut him, whatever. Now, we don't have a fullback on our team as it stands, right? Now, with John Shanker last preseason, I noticed he played a lot of fullback, and I thought he did a reasonable job. I'm not going to spend too much time harping on about him, but Shanker's only chance would be to be a developmental running fullback, because we don't have one as it stands. Whether he makes the roster as our fullback, time will tell. But I think down here, right, guys?
I put him in practice squad.
Yeah.
I said practice squad because he's a fullback, and that's a position that we're going to be really, really thin at. Every team's always thin at fullback.
I can see.
Yeah, so you 3 tight end sets. We're not going to have any room for a fullback.
Yeah,
in a goal line situation, you have to have a fullback.
You would.
I mean, to be honest, we could go either way. It depends on how they use him in preseason. It just a lot of this depends on preseason, but we haven't seen him play. So for now, I'm putting him on the practice squad.
All right, we'll keep him there, and we'll do the numbers at the end of it. All right. Critique, did you have something to say?
No, not really, man. I just looking at that. We got a lot of fucking tight ends, dude. I don't understand where we're going with this, man. I mean, that's the only thing I can really critique. We've got way too many running backs, way too many tight ends. To me, it's like everything's up in the air. I'm really wondering what kind of scheme we're going to be running, because that would be that'd be more ideal on trying to do this. You know what I mean? I know we're going to be running 2 tight end sets, but I am so unfamiliar with Luke Getsy. I'm so unfamiliar with the guy.
Critique. You got to look at Bears highlights from last year. Look at the system that they ran, and that's what we're going to run this year.
The system wasn't great last year, man. They ran a lot of 2 tight end sets, and they ran a lot of running back option. We don't have a
I'm not very excited this year.
Option.
But that's the thing is too, that how bad Justin Fields really was. You know what I mean? What the fuck? You got a 5th or 6th round pick for him from the Steelers and shit? That guy's fucking horrible. he missed wide open receivers and shit. I know a Bears fan at work, and he's been a Bears fan for 15 years and shit. And he said the problem was Justin Fields. It wasn't the system. That there were wide open receivers and shit, and Justin Fields just wasn't an accurate quarterback. You know what I mean? He was a running back playing quarterback. And it just sucks. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hate on the kid, but it's just being facts. And
It's a Wi-Fi Willard.
Salute to you, Mr. Troll. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, OG, what's going on, man?
What up, OG?
Wasn't the best team, it was the lack of talent. Appreciate you stopping by, OG. Hope all is well. I don't know about you guys. You ready to move on from the tight end room?
Yes, sir.
Man, please do.
Wide receiver.
I don't know.
Easy.
This guy might
Devontae Adams.
Practice squad.
Oh yeah, let's go. He's washed, right? Yeah, okay. Starter, easy. Alex
Send Devontae to the practice squad.
Any of you guys know about this cat?
No.
I think he came from the Giants. We'll put him down here and we'll move on, right?
Definitely fighting for the spot.
Jeff Foreman, UDFA rookie. Know anything about this guy?
No.
He's definitely fighting for a spot.
All right. Well, we'll put him down here. There's going to be quite a few of these UDFA wide receivers down in this category here, but they're going to be fighting it out for one or two of these practice squad spots. So we'll leave him there for now.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup, the guy we signed from the Cowboys.
So he's
at one
dead.
point he was quite a decent wide receiver, but had a bit of a drop off of late because he's suffered a few injuries in the last couple of seasons, right?
Let's tentatively put him at fighting for the third spot with Trey Tucker.
Right. Ont6?
I agree. I see him making the roster, but the thing is, too, we're going to need depth at wide receiver just in case Devontae Adams or Mayers goes down. This guy can come in and be the number 2 or number 1 for a game or two and still produce. You know what I mean? He's not as athletic as he once was because he had a couple injuries, but he can still produce, and I think he makes the roster.
Right. Look, he was brought in on a cheap deal. At one point in time, he was a decent player, suffered from injuries of late. If he can come back to even being close to being productive, then he can be a decent enough depth guy. If we cut him, whatever. Cheap deal, doesn't matter. But we'll put him in depth for now, right?
Sounds good.
We've had such bad luck.
Hulu. Sorry, go ahead.
When it comes to bringing in like a third wide receiver, all right, Martavis Bryant comes to mind. You know what I mean? We motherfuckers like this where we just fail. And this is what I'm hoping Michael Gallup doesn't become, because John Brown was another one. Bringing these fast dudes in here, giving them money just to fucking see what they got, kicking the tires on them just to realize their fucking best days are behind them and they don't even make the team. That's very possible where Michael Gallup is probably going to end up.
Although critique, it could also be possible to get another guy like, at one we weren't really talking about Jacoby too much last preseason. He turned out okay.
No.
And another guy, just real quick. Our best case scenario, we got we've made another. Who was that cat we brought in 2021? It was doing 2020. Came from Philly.
Deshaun Jackson.
No, not Deshaun. Philadelphia hated, but then he came over to us and he actually did pretty well.
Nelson Aguilar?
Yeah.
That's it. Nelson Aguilar. So
yep.
Could be a Nelson Aguilar type signing. Hopefully that's the case rather than it being what you said it could be, right?
I always look at the worst before I look at the best. So that's my fault. But
Just trying to give you some objectivity. It's not all doom.
I try to be objective.
Cheap guy, cheap signing. If it pans out, cool. If it doesn't, are we going to cry spilt milk? I'm not.
We got Trey Tucker.
Right. Anyways, Lydiatric Tulu Griffin from the same school as who's that draft pick? DeCamerion Richardson. We'll just put him down here for now, right? We'll see what he got in preseason if he can work his way to the practice squad, so be it. If he doesn't, whatever. Any other thoughts?
No, I agree.
Jalen Guyton from the Chargers. I kind of liked what I saw from his tape. Taking it off the, when he was with the Chargers, he was able to catch a deep ball here and there, that over the top kind of guy, speedster. If Tucker ain't the dude, then maybe this guy can be the dude.
So I say that he's fighting for a spot, but he's like legitimately fighting for a spot. He's more likely to make it than not. You know what I'm saying? That kind of fighting for a spot.
Gotcha. What say you guys? Ont6 critique, depth or fighting
wide
for
receiver?
Spot? Yeah.
Is he a wide receiver?
Yes. From the Chargers.
Nope. He won't make it.
Ont6?
I say he makes it on the roster. He's probably gonna be wide receiver fucking 5 or 6, but he's gonna make the roster.
He's too fast, and his big play ability is what's gonna get him the spot. Not that he makes big plays all the time, but he has the capability of doing it.
I agree. We'll chuck him here as that depth guy. Ramel Keaton down here. Another guy's going to be fighting for.
I don't know who he is, so yeah.
UDFA rookie. We'll put him down here, and then we'll fill out the practice squad later.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Christian Wilkinson. Now this guy I thought he did pretty well last preseason. Can he prove to be good enough to keep a final roster spot like he did last season? Time will tell. But I think he's going to be fighting for a roster spot again. What say you guys?
To me, he's the Britton Brown of the receivers. He's like a guy that can go up or he can stay down. It's a wide range of where he can be at the end of training camp.
Ont6?
I agree. This kid, ball down season, he does it again, he's probably gonna make the roster. But we're so deep at the wide receiver position that he might get cut and put on the practice squad, and then another team might fucking sign him to their active roster. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be interesting to see who actually makes the receiver room. But for now, I think he's gonna be fighting for a roster spot.
All right, we'll put him down here. We might put him up here. We'll see where we're at. Yeah.
I think we should stash him on the practice squad, but yeah, we'll take you.
That's where I'm going with him.
All right, we'll put him practice squad. All right, Jacoby Myers is an easy one. Our wide receiver number 2.
That's a starter.
Yeah, he's
starter. Day one.
Yeah, pretty easy. On6, you got any objection to that?
No, I don't. I completely agree.
Yeah, when do we get DJ Turner back?
Well, we'll get to him in a minute. But we'll go with Trey Tucker.
He's
around
heavy rotation. He's
heavy
not quite a starter, but he's going to be on the field a lot. So heavy rotation for him.
I agree.
In my opinion.
What's the? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry, man, and I didn't mean to cut you off. You got more to say?
No, I was just saying in my opinion. That's all.
All right, I agree. He's going to get heavy rotation as well as I don't know. I'm hoping he can make the kick return position his own, but we will see. There's guys on the defensive side of the ball, some of these other young cats that can possibly fight for that job, but we'll see. I hope we can get more burn from that, maybe from Trey Tucker, maybe from Lorby, or if it's Amir Abdullah again, but we'll see. But as of now, if we're not running dual tight end sets, we will see a lot of Trey Tucker on the field. Not quite a starter, but I see him there as that heavy rotation guy. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so this is my guy down here, DJ Turner. I'll let you guys share your thoughts first before I give my take on DJ.
I mean, me personally, this kid's making the roster. There ain't no better gunner in the league, so no doubt about it. He's making the roster. So I don't know how we're gonna move it, make this wide receiver room's gonna look, but he's gonna be in there.
Critique, and got any takes on Turner?
Now, I always liked him, dude. When we got rid of him, when Josh McButtfucker came in here and we got rid of DJ Turner, I didn't understand why we got rid of him. I'm glad they brought him back. I don't know if there's any room for him, but just like Ont was saying, and there's really not a better gunner in the game. So I could see him making special teams. You know what I mean? Being a permanent fixture on the special team squad. I would love to see it.
Seabass, salute to you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining the stream. Ern, what say you about DJ?
Oh, it's rough, man. Because like, I think there's other receivers are better, but this guy brings more to the table. So it's like, scroll up just a little bit so I can see the categories again.
Starter, every rotation, depth, practice squad, fighting.
I like him at depth.
As it stands, we're carrying 1, 2,
That's a
3,
lot of fucking receivers at
5
depth,
wide
though.
receivers. Well, we've only got 5 wide receivers. So
and we'll probably only carry 6.
Yeah. So
and he's the last one on our wide receiver depth as it stands. We're talking about. So.
Yeah, I guess he's going to get that last spot then.
All right, I'm going to give my take on DJ Turner, and I'll explain to you why I'm so high. And a lot of people have already caught my opinions already, but I'm going to share it again. DJ Turner, I thought, did a fantastic job 2 preseasons ago when he was given the chance. He hasn't done much at wide receiver in the regular season, if anything. However, what he has brought to the table, especially in the last few games of the season, is his gunning play on special teams. For those in the chat who aren't quite sure what the gunner is a guy who lines up when they're punting the ball, and he's the guy who's out on the wing, flies down the field, and has tried to be the first guy there to make the tackle. And
he's your
from what I
outside
noticed last
containment
season,
as well.
DJ Turner was doing that at a very, very elite level. You might remember one example was when he caused a fumble in that Charger game, which we ended up turning into a touchdown score. I think either the next play but it was the next drive we scored a touchdown. There was a few times after that I noticed him on special teams where he was, as soon as AJ Cole punted it down the field and doing it at the all-pro level that he does, DJ Turner was always just about always the first person there, and he was 90% of the time making his tackles and bringing them down. To me personally, I haven't seen gunning play like that since the days of Taiwan Jones. And Taiwan Jones was in the league for up until, I think, last season or 2 seasons ago. So we drafted in 2010, 2011. So he was around for a minute. There's going to be a role for guys who you might not be a depth guy or might not do much as a, when it comes to the regular play on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. But if you can be a very good special teamer, a guy who makes them tackles, which DJ Turner does, and salute you, Rafa, I see you. I think there's a spot for DJ. Like I said, I think he's the best gunner on our team, quite possibly one of the best gunners in the league. I actually left a comment on one of, on Raiders' IG page. They put a picture of DJ Turner, and I left a comment saying best gunner in the game. Guess who liked that post?
DJ Turner.
AJ Cole.
AJ Cole. Hey, that's even better, dude.
Exactly. And another thing is this guy has been getting high praise.
Hey, I know.
When people are talking about practice camp, like the special teams coach is very high on DJ Turner. So there is a role
you guys
for him.
Can feel privileged. In the whole fucking time I've been doing this YouTube shit, I can't get a single player to comment on anything I say. I can't get them to like anything I do. So, hey, you guys are doing a little bit fucking better than me, man. Fucking punk ass motherfuckers, goddamn comment on my shit, bro.
Salute you, where is it, Rafa? Good to see you in the feed. Nutty Nate has just joined the feed. Appreciate you, brother. Raiders, good morning to you. Raiders Rebel with another comment. With the new rule change, I think we keep more receivers than usual for kickoff returns and special teams. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how it all shakes out. But my apologies, I haven't been reading out many of the comments. We're trying to get through this quick, but I appreciate you all. But anyways, that rounds off the wide receiver room. We're going to move to offensive line, and we're going to start off with center. A polarizing player on our roster. We'll start with him. Andre James, 6-year. What say you guys?
He's a starter. There's nothing to talk about. That's not debatable.
Let's throw him on there.
Andre James, starting center, baby.
We'll put him up here. It's Andre James's job to lose, but as it stands, he's a starter at center. And word has it that as it stands, he's the leader of the offensive line. So that does count for something. In terms of his play, look, he's had his ups, he's had his downs. He's around that below the middle of the pack kind of guy. But I think he can be good enough if the rest of the offensive line is good enough. But we'll see if we can get better if someone else takes his job. But as of now, Andre James is our starting center.
Yep.
Will Putnam, UDFA rookie.
Fighting for a spot.
Down here. Yeah, whatever. Any other thoughts, critique on 6?
I agree.
That's a good spot for him. It's better than cut, but I mean, same thing. But I don't think he makes the team. I don't think any like undrafted free agents make the team. I mean,
right? They're going to get their chance in preseason. That's where 1 or 2 preseason the UDFA guys like make a case to maybe make a final roster spot. But for now, we'll put him down here, right?
Yeah.
And the last center that we have.
Look at that bold take by Raider Pete.
What's that? Andres' job to lose and he will lose it by week 5. Well, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he plays well enough to keep that spot. But if not, we've got guys behind him that can do the job, like Parham, like even our second-round draft investment in Jackson Powers Johnson, and even the next guy we're going to talk about, which is Cody Whitehair, 9th-year veteran center / guard.
Ooh, so he's gonna be fighting. He's gonna be fighting for that right guard spot with JPJ.
Depth guy for now.
Who's our long snapper?
We'll get to that. It's Bob and Maya for now.
Yeah, depth for now, I would say.
So we do have one then.
We do.
Yeah.
Veteran depth. We'll leave him there, right?
Let's say we'll probably keep him just for his experience.
Yeah.
Depending
and at one point in
on,
time, I hear he was a decent center. Look, veteran presence, depth, right? Clark Barrington, another UDFA rookie. We'll chuck him down here for now. Not much else needs to be said until we see otherwise, right?
Right.
Let's say the UDFAs are always, kind of hard to figure out.
Right.
Because you don't know, like, a lot of those guys play with a chip on their shoulder, man, and they play a lot better than what they're supposed to or what everybody projects them to, and they end up earning a spot. I'm down. I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. I'd like to see somebody step up.
With the UDFAs, I'd say a hard max of 3 will make the team. That's at the very most.
Right. Look, preseason is going to tell the story, but for now, we'll chuck him down there. Ben Brown, a guy who's had a little bit of experience in the league, can maybe compete for a final roster spot or a practice squad, but another guy's going to be down here, right?
Yep.
Jake Johanning. I think this is a guy who's had a little bit of hype to him. Was he the guy who we signed as? I think he was one of the highest paid UDFAs that have been brought into any team this offseason. I think he's the guy. Right?
Well, if we gave him more money, then you have to put him at least a practice squad.
On 6.
I don't know. This is tough. I could see him making the roster as being a backup, but at the same time, it all depends on the preseason. But for now, I'm thinking practice squad, but I could see him moved up or down. So we'll just see.
We'll put him there. And on 6, you good, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Jordan Meredith, guy's been on our roster the last 2 seasons.
Cut that motherfucker.
He's been reasonable enough as a depth guy, but
I fucking feel the same way about fucking Jordan Meredith that I did about Jermaine Illuminor. Get the fuck off my football team.
So 2 years and he hasn't 2 years and he hasn't even fucking made a footprint anywhere. Yeah, he got to go, bro.
You gotta go. You're a fucking bum.
I don't think JPJ is going to be playing left side. Don't we have Dylan Parham over there?
I think Parham's I think they pegging Parham to be right guard as it stands, but he's going to be one of the starting guards. But we'll stay on Jordan Meredith here. So you guys say cut or fighting for a roster spot.
Well, I just had an epiphany. I think I understand why these players don't come and talk all my shit and comment on anything I do. Fucking Jordan Meredith, you fucking bum. Get out the team.
Well, that's a good way to get him to come on your show.
That's it. That is. Yeah, come on, call me out. I can get you there, buddy.
Ont6.
I mean, he's a better football player than me, but fuck, if I was getting paid fucking millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think I would try to get a fucking starting position. Damn, man, he's been sitting on like third string. The only time we bring him in is when we have offensive line issues. Like, that's the only time he ever gets any playing time. Dylan Parham went down. Oh, fuck, here comes Jordan Meredith. You know, every time.
Tell him how you really feel, Critique.
You're better than Jermaine Illuminor, but that's not saying much.
Man.
All right, Ont6. Talk to me.
I'm just gonna say, like two of the big homies say, this motherfucker's gonna walk the plank, and that's all I gotta say.
Walk the plank.
All right, well, 3 against 1. I went into bat for Meredith, but you guys say cut, so we'll put him down there, I guess.
Practice squad at best.
All right, Dylan Parham. This is an easy one. We'll chuck him up there. He's gonna be our starter. He's been developing along nicely. I think he's good enough to be starter. I'm just hoping that in his 3rd year, he takes that 3rd-year leap and proves to be like a good guard. I think he's good enough for now, but can he be considered good compared to the rest of the league? I think so, and hopefully he takes that 3rd-year leap. But we'll keep him here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's probably the best we have as far as guards.
I'm about to say he's got a lot of upside. We spent quite a bit to get him. I don't think we give up on him just yet, especially since he pretty much had to play musical chairs on the offensive line last year, going from center to guard. So, like, yeah, why not keep him? You know, I mean, Dylan Parham really isn't that bad now. There's a lot of people out there who put him a lot higher than where he should be, but I would say he's at least middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Right. I see that.
B minus.
I see that too. Like, I see him as good enough, but like when I think of good, I think of the likes of like Gabe Jackson, Kalichi Assembly, Stefan Wisniewski, those kind of guys.
Gabe Jackson.
But
man, I miss Gabe Jackson.
I miss those guys too, but Dylan Parham's only had 2 seasons. This is his 3rd.
He said Stefan Wisniewski. You don't remember Steve Wisniewski? That was a beast. Steve
Wisniewski was a.
I have seen Steve Wisniewski. I've been watching quite a bit of his tape. Like that 95 offensive line struggled, but Steve Wisniewski was the constant. He was good. That's his uncle. But anyways, look, I just want Dylan Parham to emerge as a good guard. Full stop. Not just good enough.
I just want stability on the offensive line, something we can build with, Create continuity on that offensive line so our quarterback can stay off his fucking back.
Well, we might have found an answer to that at one of the spots in interior with this guy here, Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy we're all pretty high on and we have high hopes for, who has a bit of a nasty streak as well, from what I hear. Starter?
No. Andrews Pete's it's gonna be Andrews Pete's job because of experience, and then I think Jackson Powers Johnson will beat him out halfway through the season.
Okay, we'll go with you next. Do you think he's going to be a starter?
Who was the all Pro Bowl fucking offensive lineman we got from the Saints? What the hell's that dude's name?
Andrews Pete.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up getting the starting position by default, just because of how much they paid him to come over here.
Yeah,
and then it'll be Powers to be a depth piece behind him, or they'll put Powers somewhere else. But yeah, I would say definitely a depth piece, man. I would say he definitely makes the team.
He's definitely
making the team.
He's backing up both guard spots. If somebody goes down, he'll step right in. Or he might could beat out either one of them.
Okay.
I mean, but this Andrews Pete dude has been like, a lot of people have been pointing the fingers at him saying that he didn't do what the hell he was supposed to do last year. That he wasn't as good, and he also stays hurt. He's been hurt.
Yeah, his problems injuries.
Yeah, that's a toss-up, dude. I'm going to say Jackson Powers Johnson beats out Andrews Pete for the starting position.
No, but are you saying we're talking about going into training camp?
Well, into training camp, it'll be Andres Pete at first, but I mean, we've seen that shit change within a day after being at training camp for 1 day. We've seen people lose their starting spots. You know what I mean?
Ont6.
I see him starting day one. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I see him playing left guard, and I see Dylan Parham playing right tackle. So we'll see what happens.
Wait, so where you put Thayer Munford?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that now, Ern. I see him as day one starter too. I think they truly believe he can be that day one guy and make that position his own, and hopefully for the foreseeable future. I think this, Andres Pete, he does have the credentials and he has the experience, but from what I understand, like he's been coming off injuries, and his play has taken a dip of late, from what I understand. But I see Andres Pete being the depth guy, and Jackson Powers Johnson being the starter, and hopefully a good starter moving forward. But is that 3-on-1? Three people think he's going to be the starter?
I don't know. Critique, what are you doing? Which way are you going?
I'm saying that he's going to beat out Andres Pete.
All right.
The reason
I'm going with Andres Pete.
Yeah, I think he beats out Andres Pete because I don't think Pete can stay healthy. Yeah, I'm really leaning toward that direction. The last 2 years he's been hurt, and
that's very valid.
And he was supposed to be the staple to that New Orleans offensive line that was supposed to keep DC4 clean. And well, that was one of the worst offensive lines last year in the NFL.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bill Walton just died of cancer. I sorry to hear. Sorry, forgive my ignorance. Does anybody know who that is? Is he a
damn
player?
Bill Walton died?
Bill Walton was a center for the Portland Trailblazers. He's an NBA Hall of Famer.
NBA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, R.I.P. Jim Otto too, man. It's fucking absolutely batshit crazy. I didn't get to say anything about that, but that one hurt, regardless on whether we were expecting it or not. That one hurt. That was a real Raider right there. The last 00 we'll ever see.
R.I.P. to a very, very great Raider in Jim Otto. Way before my time, but I know of his greatness. R.I.P. to him and Bill Walton as well. Fly high, guys. But anyways, look. So I say starter. Critique says starter. Ern says depth. Ont6, you're the final critique of Jackson Powers Johnson.
He's going to be starting for me day one, no doubt about it. He's going to be.
Yep, that's where I'm at too. If I've got the other dude fucking not get the job, I'd say. I mean, why did we bring him in if we weren't going to play him?
All right. Well, look, we'll stick him up here and then we'll move quick. Andres. Well, that brings us to Andres Pete. We just debated about him. He's going to make this roster hopefully, unless injuries have foregone his play to the point where there's somebody better that proves to be better in preseason, but there's no reason why not to keep him here, right? Depth,
right.
Veteran presence. Okay.
Exactly, OG. Retire that fucking jersey. It's about damn time.
Raiders don't retire jerseys.
No, we don't, but we need to retire that one.
A very, very great Raider. R.I.P.
I mean, nobody will ever use 00 again because I don't think it's allowed. But as a respect factor, we should retire it.
Andrew Coker, UDFA rookie, another guy we just chucked down here for the time being. Although I've seen a little bit of his tape, I do like his pass protection. Of course, there's a reason why these players are undrafted. Still a lot of things he needs to develop to be a depth guy. I think he's going to be fighting it out with Wagner for that practice squad developmental guy, but we'll chuck him in down here. What say you guys? Short and sweet.
That's fair. I don't know anything about him, so you have to put him, fighting for a spot.
Delmar Glaze, the 3rd round draft pick that we got from Maryland this year.
God, that's a horrible last name, bro. I would never buy that jersey.
What say you guys? We'll keep him down here as a depth guy for now.
He's our backup tackle. Swing tackle.
Backup swing tackle. Yeah, for now. Jalen McKenzie, UDFA, 3rd year, down here. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, UDFA 3rd year?
He was an undrafted free
He ain't
agent,
making the
bounced
team.
around a few teams, practice squads, whatever. We had him
Oh,
on-
okay. I see what you're saying.
He can go play for the Chargers.
Down here, whatever. On
Yeah,
six?
just throw him
Yep.
down there and see if he can fight his way up.
On 6? You good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Colt Miller,
Starter.
easy one. Starting left tackle, easy. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Although I will say, just real quickly with Colt Miller, he's been a very good Raider up until now. We may have to look at some other options to develop behind him because he's been in the league a little while now, and he's been suffering from some injuries of late. He still plays at a high level, but we need a contingency plan just in case we need to move forward without him sometime soon. But for now, Colt Miller, a good Raider, our starter, right?
Yeah.
And Thayer Mumford, my man.
Yeah, exactly.
7th round guy, 3rd year.
Throw my man at right tackle.
Starting.
The weakest link. Fucking Jordan Meredith, the weakest link. That's a good call, El Capitan. That's exactly right. Jordan Meredith was the fucking weakest link. You are the new Jermaine or Luminor to the critique, Jordan Meredith. You're getting all the smoke this year until you figure it out.
Thayer Mumford,
Roker
guys.
could be better than Munford. That's hard to believe.
What say
I
you
don't
about?
think he's better than Mumford. But it's possible that I don't know, man. Thayer Mumford's really been impressing.
He has.
He
On
has.
That's his job. It's locked down, bro. I don't even think that's up for debate.
On 6?
I have to agree, Ern. That's his job to lose. That's just like saying Gardner Minshew is not, is fighting for AOC, fighting with AOC for the starter spot. AOC, that's his spot to lose. They're not going to just give it away.
Bro, but I feel like they're just saying that shit just because it sounds good. And everybody knows Minshew is finna beat out AOC, bro. Everybody. Stevie Wonder can see that.
I think it's very possible because I have a lot of faith in Gardner Minshew. That motherfucker went 3-0 against us. We can't beat him.
AOC is not that good, bro. He's really not.
On 6.
I mean, people hate me because I'm always honest, but bro, I'm gonna keep it real. It's a death of me. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Aunt.
No, you're good. Me personally, I don't even think he's gonna be a starting right tackle. I think Dylan Parham is. So I looked into my crystal ball, but at the end of the day, I think he is gonna be a starting right tackle. At the end of the day, no matter what, he's the best one we have on the team. Even though they drafted Glaze, I think Glaze is gonna be the backup swing tackle, but Mumford's gonna be our starting right tackle day one.
All right, I'm going to have my take on Mumford. Look, this is a guy we drafted in the 7th round, has had his opportunities to come on when other players have gone down to injuries, that depth guy, and I thought he's done reasonably well, especially considering where we drafted him. It's his 3rd year. Apparently, he's been making good waves in camp. Of course, we're going to have to see it translate on the field, but for me, it's Thad Mumford's time and his job to lose. I'm hoping he can finally be the answer we've been looking for, to have a right tackle, a young right tackle, because he's only 24, that we can move forward with, who's going to be good at the position for now and for the future. Because we've had season where we've been good at other areas across the line, left tackle, guards, center, you know what I mean? But for the longest time, right tackle has been a glaring weakness. The one time we had a guy who was a good player, we had trouble getting him on the field, and that's Trent Brown. He's the best right tackle we've had the last decade and a bit since I've been a fan. So I'm getting over the right tackle position being a glaring weakness, and I'm hoping Thayer Mumford finally proves to be the answer. And I have confidence in him to be able to do just that. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll move on to the last offensive tackle that we have on our roster. A guy who gets Sincere McCormick type hype, and that's Dalton Wagner. What say you guys about Mr. Wagner?
I think
this
year. We'll see.
No telling, man. Probably depth.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to say he has a chance to fight for a final roster spot, but I'm going to put him down here as practice squad for now.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think he did reasonable enough last preseason, but he's going to get his chance in preseason this year to see if he can be any more than a developmental practice squad guy and possibly fight for a depth spot. But for now, we'll keep him down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you were talking about long snapper before, and there's the answer to your question. Special teams.
Okay.
Jacob Bobbemeier. He's the only guy we're carrying on as a long snapper at the moment. So all these guys, look, Jacob Bobbemeier, AJ Cole, our all-pro punter, and our Pro Bowl / all-pro place kicker, Daniel Carlson. They're the only ones in their respective positions we're carrying as it stands, and I don't see it changing come regular season. The only change I could see is if our long snapper is fucking up when we try to look at other options. But as it stands, there's no reason to move from any of these three guys. If it ain't broke, why fix it? So we'll just put them up as starter, right?
Those three are locked down. Like there's no, that's not debatable. Those three are locked down.
Yeah, for sure. Agree? I can get this thing to stop fucking around.
I don't want to move.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's why you don't buy your mouse on Temu. No, I'm playing.
This is a good mouse. See, it even likes
buy your mouse off Temu.
All right, so Cole
spin like a billionaire. Get
all right, so that rounds off the offense and special teams for now. We've been shooting for an hour. Look, I can keep moving, but what say you guys? Do you guys want to keep moving, or do you want to wrap this up?
But whatever.
Good take. You got time?
What's up?
You got time to round off the defense?
Yeah, happy Memorial Day, everybody. I ain't doing shit today.
It's
a holiday in America.
You goody?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Probably go smoke here in a minute because I don't smoke where I'm at right now. Like I'll smoke bud and shit, but cigarettes stink. I don't smoke that shit in my house. So
you need to stop smoking them motherfuckers, period.
I know. Addicted to fucking nicotine. It is what it is. But I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee. I'm gonna fucking put back a square and I'll be right back. So you guys just go ahead and continue on. Let's see, Adam Butler and Matthew Butler. I'll let y'all take care of that. But I thought we got rid of one of those guys already. Didn't we get rid of one of them last year? Did we bring him back? What the fuck?
Hang on a second. I'm just gonna read this comment out here. Wagner could be better at 98. I think Mumford's on a mission. Did you see his press conference? He wants that job badly. Yeah, I saw and heard those things too. And I already said my piece about Mumford. I think he can be our starter and hopefully a good starter moving forward. But anyways, we'll move on to the defense. As for the butlers, we do have two butlers, Adam Butler and Matthew Butler. But we'll start off with Adam Butler, who was a guy.
We don't got Jeffrey Butler.
We might do, but Adam Butler's a guy who didn't really get much conversation last year outside of Nutty Raider Nate. Salute to Nate if he's still in the building. But in terms of his play, he played at a pretty high level when given the chance last season. I was very impressed with Butler. He outplayed a lot of these other cats that we drafted that just ain't done shit. I'm looking at Byron Young. I'm looking at Matthew Butler. Can these guys do something? Fuck's sake. But anyways, Adam Butler got his contract extension. We re-signed him in the offseason. Well deserved, in my opinion, as was the case with John Jenkins, another guy we'll get to. But what say you guys? A depth guy or a heavy rotation?
He's going to be in the rotation, heavy rotation, especially how he was playing towards the end of the season. So he's making this team no matter what, in my opinion.
I agree.
Salute to you, Jason. Good to see you in the feed, my friend. Hope all is well. Good morning to you. Or good evening. Good afternoon. Yeah, heavy rotation. I don't see that changing from last year. Who could possibly start if Tyree's not panning out or, someone goes down to injury. I think he's the next man up at that DT position. You got any other thoughts on Butler? Ed?
No, I think what you said is pretty accurate. Like, with the progression that we saw, he's earned his spot.
I agree. He earned it. Salute to you, Jack Kenner. I see you in the feed. Good to see everyone showing out. Appreciate you guys.
What up, Jason?
Now, this is a cat I'm not so high on. Matthew Butler. The other Butler.
There's not even no doubt about it. This guy freaking sucks. He hasn't shown anything to us. He was part of the last regime. I'm just put him over there right now because we're deep at defensive tackle. He's not even in the book.
Wait, hold on. Didn't we draft him last year?
We drafted him 2 seasons ago in Josh McDaniel's first draft class, round 5. Him and Neil Farrell were those 2 cats we drafted in interior.
Right. Okay. Throw him on practice squad, and this would be his last chance.
I ain't even giving him practice squad. I mean, fuck, like 3 seasons. Come on, do something.
He hasn't done anything, Westside. Anything.
Nada.
That's true, but it's just, what's up, Jack? I was waiting for you to say my name, bro. How you doing? Salute, bro.
He ain't done nada. He's going down here. Show me something in preseason. Otherwise, get up out of here.
Hey, Matthew Butler. Hey, the people have spoken, bro. I've been outvoted, so it sucks to be you, homie.
Sorry, not sorry. All right. Another UDFA candidate, Tamari Fox, another guy who goes down here. Until proven otherwise in preseason, we will see. Just Red Nation Jason's comment. Who do you guys believe in more, Butler or Byron Young? I don't believe in any of these cats until I see something from either one of them.
Option C, Nesta Silver. That's my
I see more in Nesta than I see in those 2 guys. Show me something.
Yeah. Our defensive tackles are unproven like a mug, except for Wilkins.
Right, and we will get to him. But on a brighter note, we'll get to John Jenkins, the next guy on the defensive tackle. Another guy, much like I said about Adam Butler, a guy we brought in, didn't get much fanfare, but proved to be pretty decent when he was given his opportunity and deserved his contract extension, much like Adam Butler. So I'm happy to put him up in depth. What say you guys?
He's the best run stopper we have from the defensive tackle position. I think he's making the 53-man roster. He's going to probably be a first or second down starting defensive tackle next to Wilkerson. So I see him making this team.
I see him heavy rotation.
Heavy rotation?
Yeah, because he is our best run stopper. And you got to remember, 50% of the defense is stopping the run. So we're definitely going to need him. We need pass rushers and run stoppers, and he's a run stopper. You got to have those.
Gotcha. And Jack Kenner, and had your head down, and I only saw the background, thought you were Critique. Well, Critique's
bro.
Something at the moment. He will be back with us shortly.
Hey, because Jack said salute Aunt Afakasi and Critique. I was like, well, fuck you too then. And I waited for you to say my name, and I was like, okay, I see you. I got you.
And Sal agrees. Yep. Jenkins heavy rotation. All right. Marquand McCall, a guy we signed over from the Panthers. Another guy, look, he's going to be fighting for a roster spot. However, we hear this term thrown out there quite a bit, but I'm going to use this with McCall. This is a guy with a chip on his shoulder. I don't know if you've seen a few of his videos. Did you see that one video where they were asking who they're looking forward at playing? And some of the guys had to think about it. McCall didn't hesitate. He was like, Carolina, if you know, you know, and gave the stare at the camera. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So this is a cat who's kind of salty, and I'm hoping it translates on the field. But look,
what up, Purple?
He's going to be fighting a lot of cats at that crowded DT room. So as it stands for now, we'll put him down here, right?
Okay.
Salute to you, James. Good to see you in the feed. Hope all is
hey,
well.
Jack, we do have another nose tackle. We got Nesta. We just worried about, is he going to make the team, though?
For sure. And we will get to Nesta in a minute. I'm just going to put up the brand like that. Change it over. All right. We're situated. Okay. Noah Shannon. Another guy. Yeah, whatever. Show me something in preseason. See if you can fight your way and earn a spot on the practice squad. Short and sweet. Put him down there.
That sounds fair.
All right. Our next guy, though, I'm going to let Ont6 shoot about him, being a former Miami alumni. Nesta J. Silvera, our round 7 investment from not this draft class, but the last draft class. Ont6, you want to shoot first?
Yeah, actually played with Nesta at Miami. You know, one of the best teammates I ever had. One of the dogs, was the leader of the locker room and shit. And this guy produces on the field and is given the opportunity. I don't like to use the word dog a lot on this when it comes to football player, but he's a dog. And at the end of the day, I see him being the fifth tackle and making. That's one thing I do know firsthand was playing with them, and he's a smart guy, gets 110%, and he's gonna be a good leader in this locker room. And it would just shocks me that fucking Josh McDaniels drafted this kid and seen that in this kid and never gave him an opportunity. But Antonio Pierce still has this kid on the roster, and I see him actually making and contributing this year.
Critique, you want to test the audio? Yeah, we hear a whole bunch of nothing. Critique.
There we go. Raycon earbuds.
All right, Critique. Talk to us. Nesta J. Silvera.
I like him, man. I'm thinking that he's definitely going to be a depth piece. He probably should be instant starter, but you know, now that we've got Christian Wilkins, I highly doubt that he's going to be the instant starter, but he's definitely going to be on the team. He won't be on the practice squad, and I really don't think he's going to be fighting for a roster spot. I've already got my guy who I'm thinking who needs to be fighting for a roster spot that we spent way too high of a draft pick on that we haven't seen shit from. About, what, 3 people away. So
we will get
I got something coming for you, Byron.
Truth with intensity is awaiting. Westside, did you share your thoughts on Nesta?
I like Nesta a lot. Nesta has to stay on the team one way or another. He's above practice squad. I say Nesta is going to be scroll up so I can see the categories one more time.
Can do.
He is going to be. Heavy personally, if I was the head coach, I'd put him heavy rotation. What I think they're actually going to do is put him at depth. So I'm going to put him at that third category, depth.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Like, I have high hopes for Nesta. I thought he did reasonably well when he was given his chance during the course of the season, but there was quite a few times he wasn't even activated. There is a little bit of immaturity from Nesta. You know what I mean? But I do like Nesta. I do like his aggressive nature. And I think he's going to be a depth guy that we can see work his way into the rotation, hopefully be a good player down the line. But as for now, depth guy, right?
Yeah.
The last depth guy outside of Butler, Jenkins, and house starters. One of them being this guy right here, Christian Wilkins. Where are we putting him?
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
Right.
Instant starter.
Marquee free agent signing. Hopefully the guy that, and on paper, it should pan out, that can be the solution to our defensive tackle problems. Because, I mean, look, we've had guys who've been okay, guys who've been halfway decent, but not a solidified dog. A guy who's going to put the fear of God in the other team, much like the days of like Seymour and Kelly, and even before that, like Chester McLaughlin, you know, that kind of defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we finally found that in Christian Wilkins. And on paper, there's no reason why it shouldn't turn out to be the case. Any other thoughts on Christian Wilkins?
Christian Wilkins, before we get ahead of ourselves and call him Chester McLaughlin and Aaron Donald and all this shit, I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that the man has never had double-digit sacks. I think we super overpaid the dude. He's a Raider now, so I hope he pans out. But I feel like we overpaid him for one good season. He's still got a lot to prove to me.
Just a little bit of objectivity to that. And I hear, but with that said, like he's on the interior, right? Like the interior guys aren't usually the sack masters. You know, Aaron Donald is obviously the exception to the rule, but the guys who are going to clog up the middle, put the fear of God in the other team when it comes to just running up the middle at ease and putting enough pressure for our starters on the ends to do their thing, like Kuntz and Crosby, our all-pro defensive end. And salute to Frank Perez, I see in the building. So, yeah, that's my little idea.
How do I feel about Christian Wilkins?
What are we doing today? You should be barbecuing, drinking beers today, and swimming. Get off the air. Go enjoy the sun. Why shouldn't we be doing a live? We're doing our thing. You do what you do. You're in our chat feed, so what are you doing? I appreciate you stopping by. And sorry, you shared your takes. Ont6, you got any thoughts on Christian Wilkins?
Yeah, Christian Wilkins, he's a good defensive tackle. I'm not saying he's the best one, but he did make Cleveland Farrell get drafted the number 4 pick to us. You know what I mean? He was part of that vaunted Clemson defensive line. And the thing is, too, that a lot of people don't know, he and John Jenkins played for Patrick Graham with the Dolphins his rookie year, so he's seen them firsthand. He fit Patrick Graham's system perfectly. But more than anything, a lot of people don't know that he reminds me of Theo Moore, the great defensive tackle that we had. And
oh my God, no! Oh my God!
That's always a good time for me if you can be related to one of the greats.
I will say though, we say that in jest, but Theo Moore was a good linebacker, but he was not a defensive tackle.
Linebacker.
Theo Moore at linebacker.
LB. Like
no
linebacker.
No names. Anyways, we're happy having Christian Wilkins up there as our unequivocal starter. But we'll move on to here's your moment to shine critique. Byron.
Let it all out.
Byron Young.
No problem. This is some bullshit. Move this man.
Need I say more? Are you going to do anything, Byron Young, besides hang out on the injured reserve list? Could have had a guy like Hendon Hooker. Hell, there was so many options. When this bum came about and Josh McDaniels decided to draft him, we haven't seen shit from him. Nesta Jade Silvera has obviously been a bright spot. Because when this dude didn't make, when he couldn't see the field last year, I was extremely disappointed because I figured he was going to be something. And to me, he's just an utter disappointment. If he doesn't show anything this year, why in the hell keep him? Practice squad is where the hell I'm putting this bum because I don't think he can stay healthy enough.
Ed, talk to us.
Oh, man, it's hard to argue that. It's very, very hard to argue that, bro. Practice squad until proven different. I mean, critique said it all. I mean, I can't argue that.
Ont6.
This guy fucking sucks. I can't stand him. He was a pick. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's another defensive tackle that got drafted last year by the Rams called Brian Young. Same name and everything. I think that's the one we should have drafted and shit because that guy had almost 10 sacks as a rookie and shit. But yeah, we got stuck with this guy. Can't even produce. You can't even get on the field and shit. Our 7th round draft pick, Nesta Severa, was active for 2 games and got a couple of tackles. But yet, this guy that was supposed to come in and make an immediate impact by so-called Josh McDaniels, the greatest coach of all time. But it just amazes me what they saw in this kid that he can't produce, never did anything at Alabama either. It's just ridiculous that they even drafted this guy. And this kid, literally, if it was up to me, I'll cut him. I'm just cutting my losses at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Just like we did with fucking Linebacker Jr. You know what I mean? We just get rid of him at this point. He's not part of this regime. We didn't draft him. We just cut our losses. Because at the end of the day, our defensive tackle room is really deep that we can't even afford to have him on the practice squad or something. Because there's other players that are going to want that position more. So at the end of the day, this kid hasn't shown me anything. At the end of the day, you can leave that jersey and go back home.
I'm going to put you there, Byron Young. Do we agree?
No.
Practice squad.
I overruled, but it's fine.
Yeah, he's going to practice squad, and then if he doesn't do anything, then next year, then he's out of here.
Do something. Just can you do something even in preseason to show that you belong? Otherwise, I agree. Get up out of here. But for now, practice squad. But preseason, you're one guy I'm going to keep my eyes on to, again, do something. Like a tackle or stuff for a loss. I don't know, something, whatever.
Anything but be hurt.
Anything.
You know?
All right. Well, we'll move on to the ends now. David Ogoha, our international player program player, who doesn't count against the practice squad player count. So we can keep him there as that extra guy. I actually liked what I saw from the limited game time that he had in his first preseason with us. And when you take in consideration how much experience this guy has got at playing football, period, not collegiate football, but any kind of football, and to see him come on last preseason and he actually got a sack, like, you know, I don't think he's going to crack the roster this season, but considering that it doesn't take up space on the practice squad, he's still 23, he's still learning the game, but he showed some things, and that's all I ask from these development guys: show something. I'm happy to keep him there. Just let him hone his craft this season, next season, and maybe one day it could turn out to be a depth guy or whatever. But for now, practice squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ont6, Jake.
I agree. The funny story is when we signed this kid, I reached out to him in on ID and congratulated him. He follows me back, and he has a lot of potential. He showed me a lot more than Byron Rung and some of these other draft picks that we had from the
right. That point.
I think he's only played organized football for 3 years, 2 years in Africa, and then the year with the Raiders. And he actually got a sack. This kid has a lot of potential. If he has another year, the sky's the limit for this kid. You know what I mean? The thing is, he was found by OC Miura out there in Africa and shit. When somebody from that knows pass rushing can find you and thinks you can make the NFL, and he was teammates with Antonio Pierce. You know what I mean? Oh, there with the Giants. So I think that has a little something to do with it too. So this kid definitely has potential, and I see him making the practice squad.
I see that too. And salute to you, Solomon. Thank you for joining the stream. If it's your first time, hopefully it's not your last time. Appreciate you stopping by. And the thing with David Ogoha, like I see him being kept around for at least another year or two, unless we find another rough diamond out there from Timbuktu or wherever that doesn't count against the practice squad. So the fact that he doesn't even count as a practice squad member, like we can just keep him, stash him, hone his craft until he does something, you know, why not? And you got any
why
final
not? Just let him sit there and soak it up, dude, like a sponge.
And
I mean, obviously he's a fast learner. He's only played the game for 3 years, and he's already got 1 registered NFL sack. That's 1 more registered sack than any of us will ever have in the NFL. I will say that.
Salute to you, Clark. Appreciate you stopping by. And you want to
share? He already has more than Byron Young.
He's got 1 more than Byron Young.
I'm just saying. I mean, so practice squad. I think practice squad is fair for him, and then he can go up from there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I have a question, fellas. So if you're on the practice squad, can you be activated from the practice squad to the active roster in the middle of the season, or are you on practice squad for the whole year?
Yes, you
can get activated.
Okay. Yeah, then practice squad is a good spot for him for now.
Yeah, and the thing with these international players, they don't count against the practice squad. So I think what did our viewer said before? How many players did we say can be on the practice squad?
I think he said
was it 16?
I'm not sure.
All right, so 16 plus 1 because he doesn't count against the count. So yeah, we'll just keep him there and we'll move forward.
That's a good spot for him. I like that scenario.
Oh God, this guy. What do we do with him?
He's gonna get cut. Yeah, right.
What guy?
He already
is that number 98? Yeah, that guy. I think we should trade him, bro. He's overpaid.
You're gonna trade him for a bag of chips and a Coke.
Right.
Nah. the 25-cent packet now and later is banana flavor.
That's jealous of Great Raider Hall of Famer and shit that came over here. You know what I mean? That's who he is.
All right.
Remember when he played aside next to Seal Moore?
Right.
Oh my god.
No names. But in all seriousness, look, he's the heart and soul of this team. One of the best defensive players in the league, and rightly so, was given an extra bag because we appreciate Max Crosby for everything that he's done and everything that he's going to continue to do for us. No brainer. He's going to continue to be our star on the defensive side of the ball until proven otherwise. So, start him.
And
Right.
Josh Jacobs probably
Are you guys
beating the hell out of his TV after he found out that we paid Max and couldn't
Are you
pay
guys
Josh,
sure?
but Josh can't stay healthy.
Are you
Just
guys sure
saying.
Max and not trade him? You sure?
All right. Well, we'll move quickly from Crosby. Look, he's going to be our starter. Period. No ifs, no buts. TJ Franklin, another UDFA. Look, down here, easy. Another guy who's going to be fighting for a roster spot to show that he can do something in the league. Now, this is a guy that I have high praise for and definitely showed me more than I imagined he would the last half of last season. Up until then, like, he was a guy I never questioned his effort, his motor. It was for reasons we all have discussed. It seemed obvious he was in McDaniel's doghouse, but when he was given the chance to start and consistently start, he started to build his confidence, and he started to. Before, it was like the Arden Key effect. He'd like almost get there, but not quite finish. But then when he started to put it together, he started to really come on, and I think we found the Robin to Max Crosby's Batman for now and for the years to come. Hopefully, his first priority of guys to re-sign and give a contract extension to these guys who are coming up in their fourth season. And I believe he will hopefully be re-signed and given a contract that he deserves because he's continued to show the form that he did for the last half of last season. But what say you guys? The other starter?
I think his development was arrested by fucking Josh McDaniels, bro. Like his slope was going up, and Josh McDaniels just made him plateau. And then, like we saw when Antonio Pierce took over, he started that improvement again. That slope going back up. He's a starter to me.
Ont6?
This guy's gonna be our starter. It just amazes me what people can do when they actually get a coach behind them that actually believes in them. And at the end of the day, he's going to be our day one starter.
For sure. We'll keep him up there. The Robin to Max Crosby's Batman, but hopefully a Superman Batman situation moving forward, right?
Yeah.
All right. Janarius Robinson, defensive end, depth guy, coming into his fourth year. Do you think he's going to be a depth guy? Or do you think he's going to be fighting for that roster spot?
I'd never heard of him.
Me neither.
I have heard of him. I think he
did
did some things, but like not enough things for me to really talk about of note. I think he got arrested too in the off season.
Oh man,
yeah. He's
Whatever.
on the roster bubble.
All right, roster bubble, fighting for a roster spot. Can't possibly
he's
fight.
Barely.
All right, another guy we brought in from another team. He actually, I think he was in the same draft class, drafted after Malcolm Kuntz at defensive end. Hasn't panned out. Suffered from injuries in his first couple of years and has languished on a practice squad. Ellison Smith, another guy down here in that fighting for a roster spot.
Practice squad.
I agree.
And Solomon, is he the DOI guy? Yes, I believe so. They're talking about Robinson. All right, Charles Snowden. Another guy down here, whatever. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't disagree with that. Practice squad, fighting for a roster spot.
Yeah, whatever. All right, Rod Stone, another UDFA rookie. Now, I'm going to stop things here because I've got something to say about Rod Stone that not a lot of people might not know. You know, can you see the junior in his name?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who his father was?
Rod Stone.
But do you know who he was? Like, I know, I mean, obviously Rod Stone Sr., but like, do you know who he was in terms of the player?
No.
Okay, so upon further, I had to do my digging on this guy, and I found out that his father was actually a two-time Super Bowl champion, I believe, with Dallas, a two-time All-Pro at the guard position, And the last team he played for during his tenure in the NFL was the Oakland Raiders. So just a bit of tidbits. There's a pedigree
I don't
there.
remember him.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he's not. He's a guy. I think he was on our roster around 2005, 4, 6. Jack Cannon, Robert Clark. You guys are OGs. Maybe you guys might be able to fill us in and remember this guy. But he was a guy who was on our team for a year during that middle 2000s, early 2000s. But he did, like I said, he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a 2-time All-Pro. So one of the, if not the best guard in the league at that in his time. In I think the late 90s, early 2000s. But anyways, as far as his son goes, look, another guy is going to have to prove it. Hopefully a Polamalu situation where he shows that, like, you know what, the talent runs in the tree. But for now, he's going to be down here, roster spot or practice squad kind of guy, right?
Yeah, but I think he's going to be a practice squad guy. Just beyond,
I think I'm saying practice squad too.
Might be the 5th defensive end, depending on how many defensive ends we carry, because we might have to carry an extra one. But it depends what they want to do. But he's a really interesting UD effect.
Yeah, interesting, right? Well, Critique, you're going to say something?
Yeah, probably practice squad is where I would put him.
All right,
but I mean, fighting for a roster spot is the same thing. It's just because if you look at the practice squad, we don't have shit for anybody on the practice squad. You know what I mean? That's probably more than likely where a lot of these fighting for roster spot guys who don't really make the cut, that's probably where they'll wind up going, like Jordan Meredith. Jordan Meredith will be on the practice squad. Watch.
Yeah, but we got to make it through the roster to see to see who all makes the roster, and then who all got cut, and then see which one of those guys can go to the practice squad.
Right.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
My biggest question is who's going to be that one where we're like, oh shit, we brought this dude in badass, and then he doesn't even make the team where we're like, oh, fuck. I'm wondering because there's always one. There's always one.
Jack Kenner's got a question. If you guys want to answer it quick, because I really want to get through this roster. I want X Howard then question to Spillane, Hobbs, Kuntz, and Morrig in that order. What extension to Spillane, Hobbs, Kuntz, and Morrig in that order? What do you think, guys?
He wants us to get Xavier and Howard.
Yeah,
I think so.
And then it's Spillane, and then Hobbs, and the rest of the boys.
I think Spillane and Kuntz are your first priorities, then Hobbs, and then Morrig as it stands, maybe, but whatever.
Yeah, Spillane and Kuntz are more priority than Merrick. I think Hobbs comes last.
Yep, I would agree with Ern on that one as well. I think Hobbs is a great nickel corner, but he would be last on that list to re-sign.
But with that said, I hope we resign all of them because they all like the 3 guys all had that 3rd-year leap, played very well, and Spillane shored up that linebacker position and hopefully can be our linebacker for this season and moving forward for a couple more seasons. Circus, good to see you in the feed, my friend. First priority is extending Bo Jackson McCormick, right? We've already gotten to had our little spiel on McCormick, but anyways, back to the topic at hand. Tyree Wilson. We listed him as defensive end, but
nigga bum. Nigga bum.
Fucking bum.
Until he proves different, he's a fucking bum.
Yeah, I see big things out of him this year, dude. It wasn't his fault yet last year that we was hurt, and then fucking Chandler Jones started doing lives singing about Bill Belichick. It wasn't you that defended the balls. Bill Belichick, you're innocent. You know, that wasn't his fault that all that happened. He was supposed to redshirt that year and get healthy and shit, and we had to put him out there. But at the end of the day, he's healthy this offseason, you know what I mean? He's actually working out with Max Crosby. He's not rehabbing. He's out there learning the system. I see big things out of them this year. You know what I mean? I understand a lot of people were frustrated with him last year, but I was too. But at the end of the day, he's 100% healthy. He's not rehabbing. He's working out, and we'll see what happens this year. I actually see him putting up 7.5 sacks this year. Calling it right now.
All right, I'm going to give my take.
You said missing 7.5 games?
No, I said he's going to get 7.5 sacks this year.
Oh, I could have sworn it sounded like you said he's gonna miss 7.5 games. I was like, shit, that sounds about right.
Right, look, I'm going to share my takes on Tyree Wilson. Look, like, granted, he came into the league injured and he still needed some developing to do. However, look, you don't. I said this about Claire. I'm going to say this about Tyree. You don't draft in the top 10 of the draft to find a rotational guy. You draft there to find, at the very least, a decent starter, a guy that we can, you know, a game changer, a playmaker, a guy who's going to be a cornerstone of your team. Tyree, look, he's doing all the right things in the offseason. He's learning from Max Crosby. He's trying to get himself right. I'm not going to label him as you know what other people might do as of now, but like I'm very underwhelmed as it stands, and I'm going to be looking at him very closely to show me something, do something. I think he's going to get a chance to start on that interior out with Wilkins, Crosby, and Kuntz. And if that's going to be the case, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to at least contribute and do his part and be at least a decent guy to have on our roster. So I'm hoping he makes that second year jump. I'm not asking him to be a pro bowler, all pro, this, that, and the third, get this many sacks, but I want him to do his job, and I want him to do his job reasonably well. So I say starter. What say you guys? You guys said depth. And salute to you, sister. I see you in the building.
Hey, Solomon Mitchell, I see your comment, but nigga bum.
I will say this. He did play a lot more than Byron Young. So I'll give him that.
True.
And he actually did fucking come in toward the end of the season, and he looked like a force to be reckoned with. He was actually getting it, which I could say a whole hell of a lot, you know, is a lot more than what I can say for Byron Young.
What I see with Tyree Wilson when he made it on the field last season, I seen the quarterback scramble to the right, Tyree Wilson be in pursuit. Quarterback cut back to the left, and Tyree Wilson just fall the fuck down. So it's like I don't see him having pursuit like that. His pursuit isn't that great.
I'm with you, Solomon. I'm going to give the kid a chance. I'm going to give him a chance, but I'm somewhat with you guys. I was underwhelmed with his rookie season. I want him to show more, and he's going to get his chance. But where are we putting him? I said starter. Ont6, what did you say?
I say he's going to be heavy rotational. Yeah.
You think heavy rotation?
What
do you say, Jake?
Heavy rotation, I would put him at.
You know what? I'm going to have to put him at heavy rotation because he's like you're not going to cut him because he's drafted too high, and you have to play him. You have to play him and at least give him a chance to develop. So that's why heavy rotation.
All right, I can accept that. I think these three guys will be trying to, see who can get the most juice out of that other defensive interior spot next to Christian Wilkins with Crosby and Kuntz on the outside. So I'm happy with keeping him there. All right, so we'll move on. We're now at the linebacker position. Another guy garnered a lot of hype. Darian Butler.
That's my guy.
Is that your guy?
That's my guy. That's been my guy since the beginning of last year.
So what say you with Butler? Where's he at?
He's starting.
You think he's a starter?
Well, it depends on. Okay, so are we going 2 running backs or 3 running backs? If we're going 3 running backs, then he's my third running. I'm sorry, linebacker. If we're going 3 linebackers, then he's my third starting linebacker. So that's why I say starting. But if we're going 2, then no, then he's heavy rotation.
Okay, I got you. Critique. What say you about Mr. Butler?
But he's still my guy.
Depth. He'll be in there as a depth style player. We're not getting rid of any linebackers. If we're smart, we carry a shit ton of linebackers.
Ont6, you want to go next, or do you want me to go next with Butler?
Go ahead. I want to listen to you. What do you have to say?
No, hold on. Darian Butler, practice squad, man.
Darian Butler.
I'm not as big on Darian Butler as Ern is, bro. I would rather have Amari Burney on that bubble than fucking Darian Butler, honestly.
What?
Yeah, because
he's our third best linebacker.
Darian Butler's our third best.
He is.
What about Masterson?
Is he our third best? Is that what you guys would consider him as?
I put Spillane, Diablo, Butler, then Masterson. And
I would say Masterson, man. See,
Burney is unproven. I don't know anything about him yet.
Darian Butler he's decent when it comes to his play, bro. But it's just like I'm not sold on him. Doesn't mean you guys don't have to be. You guys can be all part of Darian Butler.
You're more sold on Masterson than Butler? You're more sold on Masterson than Butler?
I got some things to say, man. If you don't
I look at other guys that we've already picked up, like Muwaga. I think Muwaga's probably going to fucking, do something this year. He didn't do shit last year. But I think that, being a part of this system more than 1 year, there was when Amari Burney was drafted, didn't we draft him high to go ahead and take one of these starting linebacker positions?
Didn't we just draft him?
Yeah, we drafted him last year.
I thought we drafted him this year. Fuck.
No, it was last year.
It was last year. He was Florida Gator?
Yeah.
Right?
Look, last year, I was going into the season. I was like, bro, the linebackers are going to be like our weakest spot of the whole team. I was really down on our linebackers, and they ended up proving to be like one of our strongest spots, bro. So I'm really, really high on those three linebackers.
Starter depth. That's where you guys are going to put him, right? I would say depth. Go up. What other ones you got? You got depth and what? Fighting for a roster spot? That's depth, the low one, right?
Heavy rotation.
Fighting for us.
Heavy rotation. Practice squad. Yeah, he would have to go in those fucking, within the top three.
Cowtown Luda, salute to you.
What up, Cowtown?
All right. If you guys don't mind, I gotta have a take on Darian Butler. Because and I love you, man, but I just don't see it with his cat. He's had a lot of hype from quite a few people since we brought him in. What has he done? I will tell you, the only time I have noticed him during the regular season was, let me take you back to, I believe it was against the Colts, right? 2021. We were winning. We were beating them. They had their last offensive drive of the game. I cannot remember who it was. They were 20 yards out from their red zone. But somebody caused a fumble, right? So the ball is bubbling all over the place. The one time I noticed Darian Butler on the field, he was the only guy on the screen. There was no other player in sight. All he had to do was dive on the ball. We would have won the game. But instead, this guy's taking 2 seconds, 3 seconds to pick up the ball, bubbling it around, trying to pick it up to take it to the house. One of the Colts players or whatever team it was, comes out of nowhere, bumps him out of the way, secures the ball. You know what they did the very next drive? They scored the game-winning touchdown. That is the only time I've noticed Darian Butler. He has done nothing to me.
But bro, in his defense, everybody has fuck-up moments. Donald Penn had a fuck-up moment where he gave up the only sack of the season and got a quarterback killed. But everybody has one moment where they fuck up.
Ern, I get you. I get you. But what has he done to offset that? What has he done?
I really like what I saw out of our three linebackers last year. And I feel like if we can keep those three linebackers, keep them as a unit and let them grow, then that would be great. That's probably our best bet.
To my knowledge, Butler wasn't a part of that. Wasn't he injured most of last season?
He was our third linebacker. It was him. It was Diablo.
Masterson. Masterson was the third man up. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I remember seeing Butler on the field more than Masterson.
But to say it was a huge rotational kind of thing when we were fucking with linebackers last year, but it worked.
We're talking about Darian Butler. I'm pretty sure he didn't see much of any game time last season.
I'm more of a Luke Masterson fan than a Darian Butler fan, and it just has to go with the way he covers. I think he covers better, man.
I think he does everything better. There's not one part of. I'm not saying Masterson lights the house on fire. I think he's a decent enough depth guy. But yeah, 2023, he didn't get a single stat. Not one tackle, not nothing. His career tackle.
Darian Butler.
Yeah, we're talking about Darian Butler. He's had 3 solo tackles, 8 assists, and I believe those all came in his rookie year. Last year, he didn't do nada. So that's why I'm looking at like,
fucking kidding me.
Seeing this guy, he's done nothing.
Well,
I think you got him confused with the other Butler.
Yeah, man. I think you're confused.
I'm fucking confused, bro.
Butlers on the team.
Right, so Raider Rebel was second on the team. Forced fun was, I believe, the man has a knack for a ball. Yeah, he's a depth guy, and I like Masterson as a depth guy. With Spillane, you're right. I was low on our linebacker core too, but Spillane proved me wrong. Diablo, I thought, did decent enough. Masterson is that depth guy, but Darian Butler had nothing to do with that, to my recollection. Like to me personally, and I'm going to finish my spiel on Darian Butler. I see him as a fighting for a roster spot guy, but. Ont6, you want to share your thoughts on Darian Butler?
Okay, then just disregard anything that I said. If I'm tripping, just disregard, then shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking somebody else. Fuck, I don't know.
And I appreciate your takes. I'm just giving you objectivity. It's all love, brother.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, somebody point out that I'm wrong. I can accept that.
Ont6, what say you about Mr. Darian Butler?
I think he's horrible.
Ben.
My boy Westside's confused with the other Butler, but at the end of the day, I don't even think he's making the roster, to be honest with you. I think he's getting cut. So at the end of the day, he's fine for a roster spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, Westside, I with all due respect, you might be getting him confused with someone else. I didn't notice squad.
Well, it looks 3-1 to me.
Hey, shit. I've been voted off the island. Fuck it. It'd be like that sometimes.
Hey, I've had a few myself, Ernst. It's all love. All right, but appreciate everybody jumping in. Wow, who would have thought Darian Butler would be a hot topic of debate, right? I thought that was an easy one.
Yeah, that's the one we got hung up on, dude.
Right. Darian Butler, do something, otherwise get up out of here. But anyways, we'll move on.
Well, Darian Butler, I'm rooting for you, bro. Prove me right, bro. Don't let me down, big dog.
Prove Ern right. Amari Burnett. The round 6 guy we drafted last year, pick 203. And there's Jack Henner's comment. Butler never played. Yeah, I thought as much too. So, but we'll move on. Look, Amari Burnett, I'll go first. We took a flyer on this, another project linebacker. We took last not this year, but last year's draft. Saw some game time, I think middle of the season. Did okay, but that's it. I'm not.
He wasn't a needle mover. But
not a needle mover. He's a developmental guy. I think we can do better. Practice squad, fighting for a roster spot, whatever. But what say you guys about Murray Burnett?
I want him in his depth, but that's just me. I like him on burning.
I'm gonna say depth because of where he was drafted and because of our need at linebacker. And I'm gonna go with depth.
Ont6?
Man, for me, probably, I don't know, bro. This is a harder one for me because I like Luke Masterson. I like him, and I like the rookie that we drafted, but I don't see us carrying 6 linebackers. I only see us carrying 5, but it's going to be tough. But if I had to, he's going to probably be fighting for, probably practice squad right there because he can make the roster. If not, I see him falling to the practice squad, but it should be interesting.
All right. Well, practice squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
And did you have a take on Burnett?
Not really. I don't really know a lot about him. I'm going to go with what you guys say, practice squad. I was thinking more depth, like he was actually going to make the actual team. But, shit. My takes on linebackers haven't been the best today, so I'm gonna defer from this one.
Well, we've still got plenty. We haven't even got one on our roster as it stands. Like, there's still plenty of other guys. So, all right, we'll shoot with you first with Divine Diablo. Talk to us. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. That's not a trade target. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a starter all day. I don't care if you're going 2 linebackers or 3 linebackers. That's your starter. It's him and Spillane, regardless of anything.
Ont6, you want to go next?
I agree. He's gonna be one of the starting next to Spillane, so he's a day one starter, no doubt about it.
Critique?
I don't have to say anything. We already know he's an instant starter, and unless he's not healthy. But if he's healthy, he's in the game.
I agree. Look, I liked what I saw from Diablo. I thought he was another player. All those defensive players from that 2021 draft class took a third-year leap. And while it wasn't to the likes of Kuntz, Hobbs, and Morg, I feel played a little bit better. I still believe Diablo played reasonably well as that other starter alongside Spillane, who was a very pleasant surprise. Will he stay around after this season? Time will tell. I think in terms of priority lists, he's probably last in terms of like I prefer re-signing Hobbs, Morg, and Kuntz before Diablo, but he's a guy I hope to see around for a little longer. But I like Diablo. I actually have his jersey. He's one of our starters as it stands, unless Eichenberg can come hot out of the gates and develop quicker than what we think or may think. But anyways, we'll leave him there, and we'll move to the next guy, which is our draft pick, round 5, pick 148. Tommy Eichenberg. He's rocking the number 45. Wow, same number as Marcel Reese, my guy. Who wants to shoot first? Is Eichenberg.
He's making the roster. He's probably going to be the 4th or 5th linebacker, but he's making the team, definitely. You know what I mean? He was drafted for a purpose. I like the thumb on him. He's a downhill linebacker. Tackle. So I see him definitely making the roster.
What's up, Lecky? Malolele, appreciate you stopping by. Countdown Ludo. I wouldn't sleep on Eichenberg's ability. I think Diablo is going to have to compete for his job. Well, we'll see. We'll see how quickly Eichenberg can develop, but he's going to have his chance. Critique, did you want to go next?
Depth or heavy rotational guy?
Westside.
I mean, just the 5th round pick. We're going to keep him.
I don't know anything about him.
Me neither. I mean, I figured fucking just where he sits and where we drafted him, it's just instant that he's probably going to make the roster, be like a heavy depth guy. Some to the least practice squad. I don't think he's going to be fighting for a spot and, getting cut. I don't think that's going to be him,
It would be crazy if one of our linebackers gets injured and he steps right in and just steals the job and sticks.
All right. Well, I'll shoot with Tommy Eichenberg. So from what I understand, he's a decent run stopper, not so great in the pass game, but that's something that can develop, much like Robert Spillane. What was that bowl game? The Rose Bowl from 2022. He was the MVP. Was that 2022 or 23? Ont6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he racked up like 17 tackles. He's a guy. He's had some good production at a power school, Ohio State. We did draft him round 5. Word has it from one of my viewers, I forgot who was, notified me that one of his weaknesses is he struggles to get off blocks. So when the offensive lineman engages with him, it's a struggle for Tommy Eichenberg. But hopefully that's something that he can work on at the next level. There's a lot to like in terms of his raw potential and the things that he can bring to the table. My ceiling for Eichenberg is Robert Spillane 2.0. My flaw with Eichenberg, do you remember Ben Heaney?
Yeah, I do.
I remember the name.
Right. He had the same kind of comparative strengths and weaknesses that we drafted, I think, round 5, 2015. A run stopper guy, had decent sideline to sideline speed, but he couldn't shed blocks to save his life, and it's something he just struggled with at the next level, and he never amounted to nothing. So that's my ceiling and floor with Eichenberg. As for where I see him as it stands, I think he's a depth guy that may work his way out. What say you guys?
Yeah, good spot for him.
All right.
Okay, that's fine to me.
Amari Gaynor. Amari Ferrari, a guy who's getting a little bit of hype by another UDFA. Another guy we're going to stash here, or do you guys have any thoughts on Amari?
Where is what school did he go to?
Was it Florida State, I believe?
Yeah, I think he's going to be more of a practice squad guy, to be honest. I think he's going to take a while to develop, but there's some potential.
Yeah, Circus, you remember Ben Heaney. Yeah, he was a disappointment. Critique? Oh, he's gone. Yeah, look,
I have no
Gainer,
opinion about that, dude.
Gainer's to me is having the Darian Butler effect. Remember, Darian Butler had that kind of hype like coming into his first preseason, and he made the practice squad and the squad. So this is a guy that's been earmarked as a linebacker who could be that developmental guy, practice squad guy. But I'm gonna put him in practice squad, and then we'll move on, right?
You know what? It just hit me. I think I know why I like Darian Butler, because he had a really, really good preseason. That's why he made the team to begin with. And then he got injured. I think that's what it is. Okay. My bad.
Right. That's all good. It's all good. All good, Westside. We do appreciate your insight here, man, my friend. Luke Masterson, third-year guy, UDFA, my guy. Does anyone want to shoot first on Masterson?
I was never a Masterson fan, but I mean, last year he proved sufficient. I mean, he's the third starter, I guess. I had him at the fourth starter behind Butler, but he's the third starter, I guess, until proven otherwise.
What say you, Ont6?
I mean, I never knew about this guy until one of my good buddies, pointed him out to a preseason. I don't know who he was, but you know what I mean. That guy is really smart and talented guy, individual to see the potential in this undrafted UDFA, and just to see him develop over the last couple years to be the player that he is, and now even to possibly be in the future, probably even being the starter for this team is pretty impressive. So shout out to my boy AR for that one. But I do see him as a heavy rotational player.
Right. I wonder who that guy you're talking about could be. I mean, he's not quite the lady killer that Alvaro Martinez is, but he must be a hell of a guy, right?
Yeah, it's like A1 and AB, they're up there with each other.
Right. Self pat on the back, right? But anyways, look, Masterson is my guy. I did a piece on him before even his first preseason. I dug a little bit on him, and I liked what I saw. He made some plays in preseason, and he did some things in the regular season on special teams as a depth guy. And it was more of the same this year. He caused some turnovers. A depth guy. Look, I'm not saying he's all this and all that, but as that rotational guy, I thought he did reasonably well. As an undrafted free agent coming into his third season, who can make another guy who can make a third-year leap, maybe be a little bit better than just being a depth guy. But as it stands, I like him as that third guy, depth guy, and I think depth would be a good spot for Masterson. What say you guys? Yeah?
Yeah, good spot for.
I'm saying heavy rotation for Masterson, but depth is fine.
Depth is fine. Like if we're running, we're likely going to be running two linebacker sets with Nate Hobbs being the money backer line, hybrid linebacker.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't really see too much of the three linebacker sets, but if we do, then maybe Masterson can be that guy. But anyways, the next guy, Kanai Mauga. I think we signed him last season. Didn't really do much of note. A guy who can compete for a final roster spot. What say you guys? Just down here?
Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about.
So
he's been somebody that's surprising in camp. Supposedly, that's the name I heard a couple times, but until we actually see it on the film, we'll see.
Yeah, that comment by Cowtown Ludo. Yeah, I agree. What say you, Ern? You sound like you got something to say about that. Mo.
No, that's fine for him. My question was going to be, how many linebackers you guys think we're keeping? Is it going to be 5 or 6?
I think probably 5.
Well, if
we'll
5, then he's going to practice squad.
All right, look, we're going to put Robert Spillane up here pretty quickly. That's
for sure.
No-brainer. Yeah,
that's
no-brainer.
Not debatable.
So I'll do the count, and I'm going to read out this comment in a minute. I'll just put that down. So as it stands, we're carrying 1, 2, 3, 4 linebackers as it stands at the moment.
So we have one more spot at max.
Right. And just to Solomon's comment here, did everyone see Spillane on Max Crosby's show, The Rush? He said that Spillane said on The Rush that Marston is going to be a Pro Bowl linebacker. Wow. Okay. All right. Well,
I have to see that. I have to see that to believe it.
I like the guy too, but yeah, speaking into existence, I hope it is the case. And critique is back. Circus roster cut because I know very little about him, and I'm a hater.
Hey, the honesty is respected.
For sure.
For real.
these around here and there. All right. Okay, so just let me put this back up here. So how many linebackers did we say we've got? So 1, 2, 3, 4 as it stands. All right. Well, we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try and fly through the secondary quickly. All right.
Yep.
Cornell Armstrong down here. Right.
Don't know anything about him.
Don't know anything about him.
That's Jacorian's depth for me.
Jacorian Bennett. Now, this might be a topic of debate. On6, we'll see about Jacorian.
No, the talent's there. You know what I mean? The thing is, he was put with the wrong mentor in Marcus Peters. You know what I mean? All of Marcus Peters' bad tendencies, fucking kid. And that was the worst thing that could ever happen to him, too. Because there's a lot of potential, and he's very talented. You know what I mean? We all know about the 4.3 speed. But him just getting under the tutelage of Jack Jones is going to be the best thing to happen, especially this offseason when he actually watched a true professional that's going to watch film, that actually puts in the effort and going to give 110% on every play and not going to be jogging on the field. So I actually see a big improvement from him this year coming up. But I do see him at
Take.
Yeah.
Jacorian Bennett, I would believe that he's starting.
Okay.
Whoa.
I got you.
Jack
They put
Jones,
something
Jacorian Bennett.
special in them Texas cigarettes.
Hey.
Okay. That's what's up.
Whoa.
What do you say about that?
He needs to take a huge step up from last year, bro. There can't be no taking plays off, going only half speed, looking like you're defeated before the fucking play's even over. I think he's got a lot to prove this year. You know what I mean? The guy's got a lot of upside. He's a really good corner. He should be our cornerback number 2 right behind Jack Jones.
Ern, you got something to say? It seems like you do.
I mean, to think that Jacorian Bennett is going to be our second corner, like, it sounds crazy as hell. But then you look at the damn roster. Who else do we have? It's like Nate Hobbs would be that guy, but you can put Nate in the slot.
Honestly, better in the slot.
Honestly, I'm going Brandon Faison over Jacorian Bennett.
Okay.
Faison's not bad, bro. People are really down on him. He's not a bad corner, bro. He's really not. But Jack is 1, Faison 2, Nate 3, and I'm gonna go Jacorian 4, and then everybody else could fight it out behind them. But shit, bro, Jacorian 2 is a scary thought for me.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna have to agree with you. It's a scary thought having Bennett as the starter, but look, if he can earn the job and just do reasonably well as that second guy, I have all the confidence in Jack Jones, which we'll get to in a minute. But look, with Jacorian Bennett, like, I agree with your comment there. Can't give up on Bennett, just like we can't give up on Wilson. But at the same time, you know, it's only his second year, but like, we've cut bait with guys we've drafted in round 4 in their second year if they just ain't it. I mean, I'm looking at guys like, you know, DeMarcus Van Dyke, and remember that guy we drafted in 2019, was it Reggie something? Nick Nelson? You probably don't even remember him. Didn't even make it past preseason the second year. We drafted him in the 4th round. So that's the flip side of the coin, as well as the jogging incident. I've already talked about that many times. I don't want to see that again from Jacorian Bennett. I don't want to see him jogging on plays and that, but I want to see him using that 4.3 speed. But on the other side of the coin, look, there is the intangibles to like. He's still inexperienced. However, in his rookie year, in the first few games, I did notice he was making some plays. All right. I hope he can be better this year, take that second-year leap, and possibly earn that other outside corner. Because as it stands, unless we bring in a free agent, it's still kind of a position in flux. Like, who's going to take over that spot? Absolutely not Nate Hobbs. He needs to stay where he is. If it ain't broke, why fix it? He's proven to be a very good money backer, nickel / linebacker type player. No need to move him. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So whoever is going to take over that role, whether it's Jacorian Bennett or a more experienced guy, a free agent, or face on, a guy I don't mind either, Ern, for all his critiques, he's a guy I don't mind. And salute to you, OJ, I see you in the building. Or if it can be D. Cam Richardson, another guy we will get to in a minute. But as for now, look, I'm going to say depth as that dime backer kind of guy. What say you? Critique. Well, if we're putting him a dime, would that be heavy rotation?
Yeah, I would say heavy rotation.
Heavy rotation.
Okay, so then heavy rotation for me. I agree. I would agree with the fourth corner, which would be the dime.
What about you on 6? You haven't. I don't think you shared your takes on Chikorian heavy.
No, I was the first one to talk about him.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, compromise, man.
It's 2:30 a.m. for me, man. So my brain's a little fried. All right,
we know he's making the team. We know he's going to play. We don't know how well he's going to play. I think
how well he's going to play is going to be the question. Hopefully, it can be better. And salute to you, OJ. Good to see you in the
face on's not that bad, bro. He's really not.
We'll get to face on in a minute. We'll get to the next guy. We drafted him in the 7th round this year, the last draft pick of the class, and that is MJ Devonshire, the cornerback from the University of Pitt, I believe. Who wants to go first with Devonshire?
Let me go ahead and get it out the way because I know absolutely nothing. So disregard anything that I would say about him. I'm gonna let you guys speak on that.
All right. Well, on 6, maybe you might want to go next.
I think my personal opinion, he got drafted, and we need depth at cornerback position. There's a lot of potential, so I see him probably being the 6th corner or the 5th corner, but he's definitely gonna make the team.
Critique, do you want to shoot while I just quickly go for a piss?
You know what? Let me go ahead and shoot. Look at how many corners that we've got on this team. Brandon Faison Ern, for real? This fucking guy didn't do shit with us when he was with fucking Gruden before. And now he's
going to put over him. Who you going to put over him?
No, I don't give a fuck. I would put me over him. I mean, and that's,
come on.
I would put Ont over him. As a matter of fact, I heard Alvaro would be a fucking great corner on this team compared to fucking Brandon Faison. But no, I'm just reaching on that one. I'm just fucking around. Brandon Faison's actually a decent player. I just don't like him. All right. There's something about him. He was a Gus Bradley guy, he was supposed to thrive in Gus Bradley's defense. He stayed hurt. We brought him back after he went and hung out with Indianapolis, because that's where Gus Bradley went. And then he got cut. We brought him back, and what happened to him? He stayed hurt. This guy, to me, Brandon Faison shouldn't even and we're not even at Brandon Faison yet. But I think that because of the state that where our corners are in, that I think this Devonshire kid's he's got a huge chance to make the team. I would say that to the minimum would be practice squad. To the minimum. You know what I mean? But I think he makes a roster spot. I think Brandon Faison's going to wind up getting cut. He ain't showing nothing.
Do you mind if I have my take on Devonshire? Have you finished critique, or you got more?
Please.
All right. Well, it didn't seem to be too positive from what I could hear in the other room, but I'm going to bring you some positivity. But first, I'm going to start off with showing my jersey. Can you guys
Texas Tornado, baby? Remember that shit.
Can you guys guess? Not on 6. Can you guys guess whose jersey this is?
38. TJ Carey?
Bing! You got it.
Good shit, Ern. I couldn't even remember that one.
And that's going to be my player comparison too for Devonshire, being that TJ Carey was another guy we drafted round 7 back in 2014, who I thought did a reasonable job. For a 7th round guys, look, they're always crapshoots. If they even do anything of note, cool. You know what I mean? But he was a good depth guy for a minute, who also had some return ability. Brings me back to Devonshire, another guy who has return ability, as well as when I watched his tape, Cam Richardson, the other guy we drafted higher, was the tackle machine, whereas Devonshire is the was more the playmaker, like, you know, the undersized kind of guy who can make some plays, and he did that in college, much like you know, Amik Robertson. I'm not saying he's going to be Amik Robertson, but he's giving me TJ Carey kind of vibes. So I think he's going to be a depth guy, being the last corner on our roster, just a guy we can develop. But how good he can be, you know, being a 7th round guy, time will tell. And Ont6, I think maybe his battery must have run out. Ont6, you there? Over.
I'm here. I just had to use the bathroom real quick. My bad.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought your battery ran out.
That the cricket wireless phone lost connection.
Appreciate you,
I completely understand that, man. This copy be running through me.
But that's my player comparison for Devonshire, TJ Carey. I'm rocking his jersey. An unheralded guy that I appreciated, you know what I mean? Like, never lit the house on fire, but he did his job reasonably enough. But Ont6, got any final thoughts on MJ?
I actually like this kid. I think he's gonna be our 6th corner and actually gonna make the roster. There's a lot of potential in this kid that we drafted.
So depth?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a depth piece.
And Devonshire is big, fast, but very raw. Yeah, he is. But he's going to get his chance to develop. So we'll keep him as a depth guy down here. All right. Well, here we go. We're back to Brendan Faison. The curious case of Brendan Faison. We'll start off with you, Ern.
He's starting. Show me somebody that's better than him on our roster, except for Jack. Okay. I mean, I'll wait, and I'll give you about 15 seconds. If you can't come up with nobody, then you got to put in the starting top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4.
Just while you're counting down, that's an interesting one. Amik is Devonshire's little cousin. I did not know that. Well, thank you very much, Solomon. Appreciate you letting us know that.
Wait, don't you mean Devonshire is Amik's little cousin?
I think so. I don't know. They're both quite young.
Wouldn't Amik be like 5 years older than him?
Anyways,
look. Still been live for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, let's stay on topic. My bad.
All right, Brendan Faison.
I'm starting
for me.
Personally, we have a lot of opinions, but the
Brendan Faison.
Legendary bum.
Exactly.
You motherfuckers.
To a roster spot because he can't stay healthy.
Okay, he was joking. All right. Howdy ha ha. All right. Look, Brendan Faison, let's stay on topic. Depth guy, or is he fighting for a spot? Ern says starting. Critique, what did you say?
What did I say?
Legendary bum.
That's what I said. The dude's a bum. I love you, Ern, but I hate Brendan Faison.
To be honest,
that's what makes it so interesting.
But I think he probably is, though, because he's probably going to be the 4th back, and then we're going to have the 2 rookies. But me personally, I will cut him, but I think he's going to make the team.
As that veteran presence as it stands, yeah, I agree. Look, we'll put him down at depth, right?
He's gonna be on the team just for depth.
Yeah, it is kind of 3-1. I would just remove him. Like, he wouldn't even be there. You guys would have looked at the roster. If I was in charge, you guys would have looked at the roster the day after the Super Bowl. That motherfucker would have been cut.
We're talking about predictions for this year, bro. And for him to be cut is just not even realistic.
I would have found somebody else.
All right.
The best ability is availability, and if you are not available, then you're not fucking that good, and that's just all there is to it.
We'll keep him at depth as it stands for now. Cool?
That's cool.
Cool. All right.
As long as he makes the team, I'm good.
Yeah. Look, I don't mind him either.
He's right.
DeMarcus Wu, governor, another cat is getting a little bit of hype from a smaller school. Undrafted free agent. Look, I'm just going to put him down here until proven otherwise, right?
Right.
Nate Hobbs.
That right there's a stone cold lock. He's making the team for sure.
I love
and
Nate
it's going to
Hobbs.
be heavy rotation because he's going to be in the slot.
Yeah, for sure. Starter for me as that money
Okay.
backer.
That's fine.
What about you on 6?
No, I agree there. There's no doubt about it. So we can just move on to the next player, even though the next player is automatic as well. So
Yeah,
Right.
next player is automatic as well, but
I love Nate Hobbs. Hopefully he can be more of the same and he gets that contract extension. All right. Jack Jones, easy one.
Bro, there is no sure thing on this team except for Max Crosby.
right.
that was one of my things.
I love Jack Jones, and I see big things from him. I'm hoping he can be that lockdown, shutdown cornerback we can build around since the days of Nnamdi Asomugha, and I believe we found him with Jack Jones. I love this guy, and I have all the confidence in the world. He's in the right position to succeed and keep his head screwed on. With his off the field issues was a little bit of a thing at the Patriots, but I see big things from Jack Jones, and I'm hoping it's more of the same from what we saw in the last half of last season. So we'll keep him there as that cornerback number
position. He's in
Like
a
I
great
said, Jack
position
Jones
to
is on
succeed,
new
bro.
Nnamdi, bro.
I hope
He
so.
needs to change his number to 21. That's how confident I am in Jack Jones. He needs to be Nnamdi 2.0.
The
Put him
only
on a
reason I
fucking
haven't
island and let him lock it down.
No. Fuck that. You need to give him 24, not 21. Give him 24.
You can give him 24 too. Ever since Woodson left with that 24, bro, it just ain't been the same. So I kind of feel like that number's kind of cursed right now. You know what I mean?
The only reason I
cool
haven't bought Jack
too.
The only reason I haven't bought Jack Jones' jersey yet is because I'm waiting to see if he does a number change. Once I see him actually on the field this year in a certain number, then I'll go ahead and get that shit.
On 6, you wanted to say something?
No, I completely agree. You know what I mean? I just don't want him. I want him to be his own player. I don't want him to be 21 or 24 and put the pressure of being
Ooh,
that.
nice.
Good shit.
Good
At the end of
point.
the day, at 18, let him be the number one corner in this team. If we don't sign that one for free agency, so they just move on because he's a start from day one.
Yeah, I agree, and I like that number 18 being my favorite number, so I'm going to leave him there.
Let's say the last time we had a decent number 18 was Lewis Murphy.
Oh wow,
Randy Moss.
I think Andre Holmes was.
Randy,
he was decent for a minute.
Fuck Randy Moss, motherfucker. Yeah, greatest receiver fucking ever, but fuck that guy.
Andre Holmes was decent for a minute as a rotation guy, but look, let's keep it moving. Our 4th round draft pick investment, the tackle machine, Cam Richardson. I see a lot of potential with this guy. There's no questions about his ability to tackle. My only questions with him is he wasn't really a ball hawk kind of guy, a playmaker in college, and I'm hoping that's something he can develop. Because if he can develop that, then we may have found our number 2 for the future. Being that there's no questions about his effort and abilities to tackle. The question is, can he be a playmaker at the next level? But I see big things with Cam Richardson and another guy with a lot of speed, much like Jacorian Bennett, and good size too. I think he's over 6 foot, 6'2" maybe. But what say you guys with Richardson? Is he heavy rotation or depth?
One question before we do that, you guys. How many corners and safeties are we planning on keeping? So we need to know what our.
I was about to ask the same thing, dude. It was like you were reading my mind.
Well, we can
tops,
corners and 4 safeties.
I can answer that, guys. We can tally it up at the end, and then we can make moves from there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Cam Richardson, what are we doing with him? Depth or heavy rotational starter?
He's gonna be depth for now because I think
depth.
he had really bad coaching at fucking where he was at. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of potential there for him to be the number 1 corner in his team going to the future with just some development. But for now, he's gonna be depth.
All right, we'll leave him there. Good take. You good?
Depth, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I wouldn't want to put him any lower than that.
Jaquan Shepard, UDFA down here.
Right.
Whatever. Sam Webb, guys hung around in our roster. He's been okay, but is he a final depth piece or is he?
I like him. I like him making the team this year. I like Sam Webb a lot.
On 6?
I actually like him too, but I just think that we're gonna keep only 6 cornerbacks, and he's the odd man out. So we'll see for now, but we can leave him there.
All right, we'll leave him there.
Yeah,
we
I
got
see
4
the depth of practice squad. Fighting for roster spot.
Rashad Williams, another UDFA, other guys that are going to have to compete in preseason, so we'll put him down here. All right, now we're up to the safety room, the last position that we're going to talk about. And I appreciate you guys sticking around on 6. I know you got things to do, so if you need a jet, like I understand, man. It's all good. But I appreciate you guys sticking out and everyone in the chat as well. We'll start off with Trey Taylor, round 7 investment, pick 223 from Navy, the Jim Thorpe Award winner for being the best defensive back in college football last year. How he slid that low, I don't know. But what say you guys with Trey Taylor?
I see him
For roster start.
Shit. I was gonna say like automatically like practice squad, but if he's a Jim Thorpe Award winner, that's saying a lot. So that's something you got to take into consideration.
And a high character guy as well.
He's gonna be a piece. He's gonna be probably the third or fourth safety probably the fourth safety on this roster. So I think.
And I think he has ties with AP as well. I think he coached him in his earlier years, if I'm not mistaken. Look, a high character guy, a guy who won the Jim Thorpe Award last year. You know, coming out of Navy, I think he's going to be that depth guy and might leapfrog Christopher Smith for that final safety spot on the roster.
Ooh, no, not my guy.
All right. Well, speaking of your guy, he's going to be next. Christopher Smith.
Now I'm pretty sure with Christopher Smith, the guy, he's versatile. He could play corner or safety, right? Now, if that's the case, if that's the case, can we? And he, shows to be a capable corner in training camp. Now that would be interesting. Now, if you could convert him to corner and make room for our safety, I don't know what safety. I'm keeping Christopher Smith.
Critique. What say you about Christopher Smith?
Practice squad.
Depth.
On 6?
I think squad too. I think that the rookie's gonna make it, and it's gonna be fucking Palomao, Moreg, and Epps. We're only gonna carry 4 safety, so that's why I predict. So I think he's gonna be a practice squad.
But he carries the versatility that the other 3 safeties don't have.
Yeah, about to say he might come in as a corner. It's a good. I mean, we'll keep him on the team. I don't think that they're. I mean, he could be fighting for a roster spot, though, man. It's just look at the depth that we have at safety now.
Okay, well, look, we're talking versatility, but like this is another guy, much like what we were talking about with Byron Young and Amari Burnett. It's like, well, show me something. This guy did nada last year. You know what I mean? Coming out of Georgia, a defensive captain, didn't see him on the field, didn't do nothing. So for me,
he could easily take Brandon Faishon's spot. He didn't do shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I personally earmarked this guy as a guy who needs to show something because we drafted Trey Taylor, who I believe is going to compete with him for that final safety spot. And I think he's going to take his job unless Christopher Smith does something. I mean, you're talking about versatility. When's he shown it with the Raiders? Like, do something. Show me something. Otherwise, get up out of here. So that's my take. I want to put him down here, but what do you say, you guys?
Hey. But he was just drafted last year, and he was drafted by a shitty ass regime, and there was a regime change in the middle of the season. So it's like, there's a lot of factors that go into that.
Still stand by what I said, man. Just show me something. Show me.
I hear you on that. That's fair.
Because I mean, I'm not taking him over Moreg, Epps, or Palomao, and I'm not taking to me, his competition is Trey Taylor for that final safety spot. So I said fighting for a spot. You say depth. What say you critiquing on 6? Where do we put Smith?
I'd say practice squad, man.
Practice squad? All right. We'll put him down there. Practice squad. Whatever. Show me something. Phelan Sanford, safety, UDFA. Yeah, down here.
Yep.
Isaiah Palomao. Now, this is a guy who's been a pleasant surprise. I think, he's done reasonably well as fighting his way up from earning a spot as a UDFA last season. Well, no, it was this is his 3rd year now, 2 seasons ago. So, you know what? I like what I see from the limited time I've seen Isaiah Palomao on the field, and I'm happy with his development. I see him as that 3rd safety rotational guy in case someone goes down. But what say you guys?
I agree.
Depth for me.
Yep.
But depth is the third guy because
he's the backup. He's the guy who comes in on third down or when we're running those fucking massive cornerback and defensive back sets. You know, like when we're running dime or we're running fucking like a prevent style defense. He's going to be out there. Definitely, man. Pull him out is like he's got large upside. So I would say depth to the very least.
So it also depends on the opponent. If we're playing a run heavy team, then he'll get a lot more playing time because of his ability to play a hybrid linebacker safety.
I agree. He's that third safety for me. And just in regards to like that comment there, saying that I don't understand how players are being slated as a bust after a rookie season. I haven't said he's a bust yet. All I'm saying is just show me something because he showed nada. That's all I'm saying. Show something. Otherwise, we've got other guys, young cats in the room who could possibly show more and take his job. That's it. Anyways, look, we've got 3 guys left. Jaden Grant, this is actually your guy, Critique. UDFA, second year. What say you about Mr. Grant?
I just don't think he's going to practice squad, man. I don't see him getting a actual roster spot over the safeties that we already have. I really don't.
Ont6, you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Ern? Practice squad?
Yeah. I'm good with practice squad. But I would like to hold on to him just in case because I'm not sold on either one of these 2 guys.
Yeah, Epps is questionable. Morig had a great year last year, but before then he was slumping bad. But last year he did quite well. To my opinion, should have been comeback player of the year. In my opinion, but I think both these guys make the team.
They're both the starters. I don't hate either one of them. It's just I don't feel like neither one of them are fucking Earl Thomas or Cam Chancellor. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Ronnie Lott, Eddie Anderson. They're not those guys.
Darren Woodson.
God, we're bringing it back.
I think it's safe to say there are starting safeties for now until proven otherwise. Right? And I think Morig does a very good job, in my personal opinion, had a good 30-year leap. And Marcus Epps did decent enough. I thought it was a good enough duo that we had last year at safety. But anyways, look, that rounds it off. Sorry to take so much of your time in that. Look, it's also pretty self-explanatory. I don't believe we had another starter at cornerback. So who do you guys think would be the others as it stands? Who do we drag?
I'm going face on and Jack.
What say you, Critique?
Just put face on there, goddamn it, I guess.
Ont6?
That's what I'm starting. I don't want face on out there.
I don't want
who'd be your other outside guy?
I see Ben in it and Jack on the outside and then Hobbs in the slot.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. I'll agree with that. We'll put Bennett up here. So
boy,
there it is, guys.
Off the island.
we got there. we got through the roster. So I don't know if you guys can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 47, 48. We got 48 players.
So
but
really,
the rest of us will be
a lot of people on the bubble too, and we get what, 56 or is it 54?
I thought it was 53.
53.
Now, do they go with a 63-man roster at first during preseason and whatnot? It's 63, and then we cut to 53, right?
I think so. It's either 63 or 72. I'm not sure.
Well, look, we'll see how preseason shakes out. I mean, they're going to be like this is just an early kind of list, just something to pass the time with. This is going to chop and change accordingly. Players are going to emerge. Like some of these cats at the bottom here is going to play their way into the roster, and some of these cats up here are going to play their way out of the roster. So
yeah, some of those are going to be like, we were going to hold on to 4 running backs, but this one running back we had to keep him, so we made a spot to keep 5. Some of those are going to be like that.
Yep,
for sure.
And don't forget that we've got quite a bit of cap room now, since post June is coming soon, which means we get rewarded for Jimmy Garoppolo's bullshit ass contract, and it's going to add more money to our cap, so we can be signing more people.
For sure. We'll see how it all pans out. I'm going to take the banner down and go back to this here. Remove that there. Here. And then
good show, man.
Go to here. All right.
And I don't know if I'm speaking on this too early, you guys, everybody out there watching, but there's talks about doing our shows in the future like this as a 4-man panel. Let us know what you guys think.
For sure. Look, I'm happy to chop it up with you guys, or you guys do your thing, we do our thing, and then we chop it up every second week, third week, or whatever it might be. I'm good with whatever. But I appreciate you guys coming on with us and sharing your takes.
Yeah, this was fun. Sorry I was late today, but yeah,
that's all good.
My bad.
All good, brothers. All good. Look, it's getting late. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. I do have one last thing to share just before we ship on out of here, and that is, I was waiting for you to join the live critique.
Oh,
can you guess what this is?
That is the jersey that I told him that I was going to buy him after I lost that fucking Tecmo Super Bowl game.
Oh, man.
Fucking yard on that interception. But, man, I still look at that. I still watch that game. And I'm still saddened by that game.
Don't forget about my boy James Jett burning the defense for a touchdown, right? Woo!
Yeah. Because, man.
If only he could do it in real life.
I had him, man, and fucking I waited just a second too long, and Afakasi jumped right all over it, reacted way faster than I did, and picked that ball off. Fuck.
Right.
Yeah, it was rough.
I'm gonna do a live unwrapping and unveiling just to finish it off. So without further ado, I'm going to rip into this. Don't spoil who it's going to be, because I know who you know who it is. Since I requested it.
I do.
Yeah, good.
All right.
Derek,
and I advised against it.
Jack, no, he got the Jack. He got Jack.
You damn right.
Colorado. That jersey though, brother. Ain't that shit, man?
Number 18.
Ain't that shit, man?
That's probably my favorite player on the team right there.
This is to match the jersey he wore when he got that interception to Grinch the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Thank you very much. So, you know what? I had that much confidence in Jack Jones. That's the player I wanted. And the number I wanted, being number 18, is my favorite number. And he confirmed that he is going to keep it and hopefully make it his own moving forward. So, Jack Jones, my guy. But anyways, look, guys. Raider. He is. He's going to be one of my favorites, and hopefully for years to come. Hopefully he's everything that I said he's going to be. The guy we've been looking for to solidify that lockdown, shutdown corner that we can move forward with since the days of Namdi. But anyways, look, I don't want to keep you guys anymore. Thanks, guys, for coming on the panel, chopping it up with us. It's been a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but I do appreciate your time. Go enjoy your happy Memorial Day. We will get on the panel as a 4-man squad. Coming soon. Again, when more things start to shake, because I mean, right now it's like, is something happening yet? Is it Raider football yet?
Exactly. This was actually a good show with football really not being here, but still being able to talk football and chop it up and actually get a good conversation out of it. Hell, we got 3 hours out of it. So shit. Thanks, Darian Butler.
Ont6, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, man. Thanks for having me on. Shout out to AR. I mean, AR, Critique, Westside. Shout out to everyone in the chat for pulling up. And I'm out of here, guys. Until shit. God bless. I'm out.
Peace, man.
Great
Thanks,
thing about having Ern around, bro, because like Ern and I get different takes all the damn time, and we can make a whole conversation out of it. We could go hours back and forth about this shit. Fucking
without being ignorant.
Without being ignorant, exactly. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, fuck you, Ern. That's mostly what he gets, though. Not from me, but everybody else.
Well, I appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? I for one love your show, the California rain cloud and the Texas tornado, especially my favorite segment. You know, the walk the plank. I always have a lot of laughs.
I like putting him in the bathroom myself. That's really where Walk the Plank came from. In the
bathroom.
Was watching fucking put him in the bathroom. It's like, you know, that's a good cut.
Right. You got put him in the bathroom. You guys got Walk the Plank.
Can't say I didn't
which one's
follow
better.
that.
I love your Walk the Plank takes. It's funny as fuck. But guys, it's 3 a.m. I gotta get some shut eye. I'm tired.
Yes,
my
sir.
brain's fried, but appreciate you guys, everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully it's not your last time. If the guys who came in who are new to the channel, as well as everyone else, I see all the names. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Happy Memorial Day. Salute to the veterans. Red Nation, Red Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. You know what time it is. It's Red Nation till we what, gang?
Die.
Till we motherfucking die. All right. Peace, guys. I'll catch you on the next one for sure.